Welcome to Grimm Stadium, Texarkana, Texas. We have Texas High head coach Jerry Stanford. We got the Tiger King Billy Lavender. We got the third best reaver in Texarkana now, Tony Langford. If you need a home loan, Jay Davis is your guy. Coach, man, big game tonight.
Yep.
Everybody seems to think playing for the district championship tonight.
I think you're at least playing for part of it.
And all I keep hearing all week, because I was in Longview yesterday, is about this quarterback Pine Tree has.
Yeah, I mean, he's got to be one of the best quarterbacks in the state. Everybody wants to talk about how small he is and whatnot and this, that, and the other. But what I do know is his efficiency and productivity level is as good as anybody when you look at his stats at the 5A, 6A level right now. And he's done it for 3 years. Everything goes through him, and he's just a tremendous athlete and a tremendous kid.
But your team's only given up, 12 points a game, I believe. One of the best defenses in the state. You have one of the most prolific offenses in the state. How's practice been this week?
You know, it's been solid. You know, you always worry about coming off a game that's as intense like Marshall was and the anticipation level of that game, and you're rolling right into another game just like it. And so our big focus all week is keep that same intensity level, that same focus, that same attitude and that's our approach coming into this one. And so we're going to find out tonight. We get that same feeling.
Coach, do you think a big game like this and a big-time player like their quarterback, that maybe Brayson McHenry knows that in the back of his head and thinks that he's got to really step up tonight, or do you think he just settles down and plays his game?
I think he just settles down and plays his games. We've got to figure some things out pretty early on. They're really multiple on defense. They do a ton of different stuff, and so we've got to figure out pretty quickly what their kind of scheme is tonight. And so I think Brayson's got plenty to worry about.
Well, what are your thoughts about, I mean, the quarterback definitely holds his own for Pine Tree, but they've got two running backs that are pretty stout as well. I think one of them had 1,000 yards rushing last year. This year it just seems to be a two-head monster.
Yeah.
What do you think that they're going to come out with tonight?
I think both those guys will play a lot. 25 was out last week with an ankle injury, but he's back tonight. And he's kind of their bell cow when it comes down to it between him and they're just two different runners. And 25 runs really, really strong behind that offensive line and really complements DJ, their quarterback. The other runner is more of just kind of cram it up in there, see what happens type of thing, where the other one's a little bit more patient, let things go and then explode. And so I think we'll see all three of those guys tonight. Number 6 is a 10-2, 100 guy on the edge. And so they've got a really, really good setup for what they do offensively. And so we got our hands full, but we're looking forward to it.
Did you say a 10-2, 100?
Yep.
Ooh, that's flying.
Kid can smoke it.
Coach, I didn't want to have you on and not mention early signing day this week, man. That was a big deal, a first-class thing. Speak a little bit about the athletes and what Texas High is doing to get all these athletes to the next level, because we know from experience that they just don't show up and offer scholarships. That's a lot on your end.
And we take a ton of pride of getting our kids out there. Obviously, kids like Clayton get themselves out there in a lot of ways just by the extremities of size, height, weight, and speed. But, man, it's the guys that are going to go D2, NAIA, Division III, Division II, that's where we're going to spend the majority of our time trying to pump those guys out, because those colleges don't have the same recruiting resource base to find kids. And so we know we've got to help them find kids. And so we spend hours and hours and hours a week on end just calling colleges on cold calls, just like you would an insurance company, just trying to sell things. We're just trying to sell a kid. We're just trying to find a place for a kid to go. And so we take a lot of pride in that, and we feel like we do the best at putting kids out for college.
That's awesome. I was really impressed with that. I mean, you had a great group of kids.
Yeah.
Signing with some big-name colleges.
Coach, both of your teams are about the same offensively. You both score right at 40 points a game. Yep. The biggest difference is your defense gives up about 8 points a game less. Looking at the schedules, at least by record, their schedule looks a little rougher than y'all's. How do y'all think y'all match up?
You know, I think it's hard to say. The people that they played early on in the year are completely different than the people we played. We felt like we played a pretty solid non-district schedule. At least historically, those teams have been pretty good and have tradition. Dennis and the John Tylers, those teams have tradition. And so we felt like we played a solid schedule up front. We both already played Marshall. The stats were different in that game for both. They had one set of stats. We had a different. It's hard to say with these guys just because we haven't played anybody real common other than Marshall at this point. I think the biggest matchup is our offense versus their defense. Defensively, they've kind of been Jekyll and Hyde a little bit, but have the ability to show up and play big. So I think that's on us right now with our offensive line to play well.
Coach, this game being a big game, and everybody's talked about all week or since our last game about this really being for, at least a share of the district crown. Do you think your defense and offense are up for the challenge, or do you think that they're looking ahead and thinking about that district crown, or they're thinking about what they have ahead of them tonight?
I think we're looking at what we have right in front of us right here. I think the question is, are we lingering from last week? That's the thing we've talked about as much as keep pushing forward. I mean, we have goals set in mind, and the first one is win district. Well, that doesn't happen without going through this place, and there's some personal history with these guys from 9th grade, 8th grade on. Both teams know that history very well, and so a little bit of vendetta for both teams right here.
Well, I went back and looked at the series, and I believe this is correct, but Texas High leads the series 17-4, and then there's one tie. But what was so crazy is 3 of those wins were only about 1 point,
sure.
For them. So
yeah.
I don't think I could leave this stadium without saying my pick was going to be Texas High anyway. But I'm assuming we're going to see about a 42-24 game. So that's my call.
This isn't your same pine tree that we played over the years.
We had this conversation on the way over here. I grew up in Longview. Tony grew up in Gilmer. And what Coach Lane's been able to do, it really is a great job. Yeah, if you look back the history of them, they're just not very good at football.
Yeah, when I was in Gilmer, they were not very good. And I think it's going to be a close game. I do have Texas High, but I think they're going to squeak it out, just my opinion.
So Tony's not allowed back, right?
No. You take the squeaker, wouldn't you, Coach?
We'll take it by one. I mean, my heart rate might be a little bit higher when it's all said and done.
I just think they're both really good football teams, and I think they're going to go at it, man.
Is this the best football team you've had at Texas High since you've been here?
Yeah, definitely. I think we had a little bit better skill. It's been a variety. That's just the best defensive team we had by far. Yeah, by far. Offensively, man, we've just been, every year we've been a little bit different. I would say this is the most balanced offense we've had to point. But last year with Ryan and Tracy, that was a different situation. The year before with Colton and Miles and a couple other receivers, completely different. And then the first year we had to play 2 separate quarterbacks, but that was probably our most skilled year. But we had the worst offensive line that year when we played Highland Park in the playoffs. And so it's just been a variety. This is probably the most versatile offense we've had to point.
I know we've had this conversation privately, but Brayson McHenry is just, we can't hide him anymore. This kid is a real deal quarterback.
No, Brayson has done a tremendous job. I think the biggest thing with Brayson is he keeps our offense calm. Brayson's not one that's going to freak out or have poor body language. Brayson's going to stay calm back there. We're going to fix mistakes. He's going to be a minimalistic guy when it comes to mistakes. He's not going to put us in a bad situation very often, and that's going to be critical tonight with the amount of coverages these guys run.
So I know he's very coachable because I noticed some high IQ plays in several games that we've had, just getting them to jump off sides, immediately taking off to opposite sides, and then, of course, Ryan just knowing to run deep, throwing that pass. That's an NFL play.
Yeah.
That most high school quarterbacks, I don't think, have the IQ to.
No, so we practice that every day, 5 times a day. We have 2 different sets. Yeah. We have 2 different things that we set up off of hard count. And so we've got one play that does this and one play that does this.
Don't go over them. They're watching, Coach.
But that is something that is highly repped. We feel it's no different than 1st and 10.
Yeah.
And so Brayson's very good at understanding what we're trying to do right there and what we're trying to take advantage of, because ultimately there could be a no flag thrown. I mean, we could snap it and there not be a flag, which has happened. I actually lost a game on it one year, about 6 years ago. But Brayson understands I'm looking for the flag first. If I don't see the flag, I know I'm throwing it away. There's a variety of things that go into it.
Well, Coach, we appreciate your time. We'll let you get back to it. Best of luck tonight. Man, we got cameras everywhere.
Man, we're looking forward to it. I appreciate y'all guys. Thanks for the video this week.
Coach.
Great video.
Coach.
Thanks,
Let's take a quick break. We'll be right back.
We are excited to announce here at Texarkana Emergency Center and Hospital that we have expanded our capabilities to better serve our community. As a hospital, we have the capability for inpatient services. After your outstanding emergency care, we can smoothly transition you into one of our new inpatient rooms that have telemetry monitors in every room to continue your concierge medicine care. While our patients continue receiving their care in their inpatient suites, we also make sure that your loved ones are taken care of with our outstanding facilities. Our added services include a procedure room and also the capability of MRIs. With our imaging, we are able to offer outpatient, inpatient, and emergency room, MRI, CT, ultrasound, and X-ray. We are honored by your support and look forward to serving all your future medical needs.
We have Pine Tree head coach Kerry Lane with us. Man, we kind of go back a long ways.
Yeah.
And I grew up with his wife, Jamie. I'm assuming she's going to be here tonight.
Oh, yeah, she'll be here.
Man, I have to be honest. I heard you took this Pine Tree job. How long has it been now?
This is the middle of the 5th season, so 4 calendar years, 5 seasons.
And, we're from Longview. We'll just call it like it was. Pine Tree historically has not really ever been good at football. And you won some state championships at Gilmer.
Yeah.
And I remember when you took this job, I remember I think Jennifer was like, man, I'm worried about him taking that job. The job you've done, though, man, I thought I'd never see the day. Great job, Dave.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It's been a lot of hard work, and Pine Tree's kids are like anyone else's. They need someone to stick around and care about them and work them and teach them how to do things the right way, and hopefully we're doing that.
I didn't even know you had a new stadium.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was like 2013, I think. So
I don't ever go back home. But we do plan on being in Longview next year, so I'll see it next year.
There you go. Come on, Pirate Stadium's a beautiful place.
Tell me about this quarterback.
Mine or Texas High's? Which one?
I want to hear about your quarterback. Everybody keeps talking about him.
Yeah, he's a 3-year starter. I think he's accounted for about 75, 80 touchdowns. He's electric. He's a shortstop in baseball. He's just a kid that plays a lot of ball. He's a confident kid. He's been great for us. I know that.
Coach, you this year I don't know if it's program wide, but all in is your thing. Just kind of talk about what all in is for your team and for you and as a coaching staff.
Yeah. So I was when I got the job, at 32 years old and all full of the knowledge that I had, I decided I wasn't going to be a motto slogan guy. I wasn't going to be one of those guys, and we just had a pretty rough day at summer workouts, and I just told the kids, look, you've been blessed with gifts, and Colossians 3:23 is what I try to live my life by, and God's blessed you with a gift, and you owe it to Him to make the most out of it. And so that was our whole thing, is just go all in, just see what happens. Mm-hmm. Just do everything you can do to the best of your ability, whether it's school or at home, football, anything. Just use the ability that God give you the best you can. Go all in, just see what happens.
Well, tell us a little bit about your 2 running backs, Sheffield, Morgan.
Yeah, they're both not real big. Now, nobody on our team's real big, but they're both really tough kids, really strong. They're very similar running styles. Sheffield, is very much a slashing runner. Ethan, the same thing. And everybody was surprised about Ethan last week. I wasn't. He's ran like that ever since I've seen him toe to football. And Tyler Sheffield's a great story. He was a B-team kid his whole life. Ended up doing a great job. He's just so strong. He's hard to tackle. And so we're glad that he's running around good.
We got to know about the freshman. 6'5",
yeah,
250.
Yeah, he's all there.
He is a defensive lineman, comes in and out of the game quite a bit. He's a player to watch tonight. I mean, he's a grown man.
He's a grown man. He's a really good tight end. He's a really good pass catcher. He'll be a starter for us on the basketball team. Highly intelligent. He's on the UIL math team. He's just a great kid. And
that's awesome.
We got to get him toughened up a little bit, and he'll have a chance to do a lot of things in life.
Coach, what is the game plan against a team like Texas High? We've kind of watched, and they have really no big blaring weaknesses.
No, they're good players all over the field. Yeah, you got to play mistake-free to beat a good team like them, and you got to take care of the ball, and you got to try to get it from them. And it always starts at the line of scrimmage, and what a great test. I think we're pretty good up front, and I know Texas High is really good up front on defense. And to me, every game comes down to that. You can get in a few shootouts every now and then, but you got to win the line of scrimmage to win when it matters. And we're going to have to be at our best tonight, playing a really good team.
Well, we talked previously with Texas High coach about, this could be for a share of the district championship. I mean, how much pressure is that on there? Plus the perfection that y'all have got for the season so far with no losses.
No, I don't think there's any pressure. I mean,
well, they do have a tie.
Nobody in the world has ever picked us to be any good, so we don't play with any pressure. We play with a chip on our shoulder. And
that's not true.
Go out and try to
Jamie
prove something.
picks y'all every week.
My wife does. Now, she grew up a Hallsville Bobcat, but we got rid of all that purple, and we got the blue and gold in the house now, so life's good.
That might be a good thing right now.
Well, y'all do play them for the last game of the season, so if y'all have already got the district wrapped up, is she going to go back to Hallsville and root for them? Or?
No, Jamie.
No. Okay.
No.
So sometimes you got to mute Jamie on Facebook, especially during football season.
Oh, I know.
She's the worse than an Arkansas Razorback fan.
I'm blessed. Man.
They're big Razorback fans up here, man. I can't stand it.
Are they? Well, life's pretty good this year. Old Sam Pittman's got them going.
Yeah, man, those 2 wins.
For as good as they can get going, yeah.
The only thing that he's lost to is COVID right now. So.
Oh, wow. So, man, we've got a few minutes left. How were you able to turn this program around? I mean, you grew up in the same area
Yeah. You know, I learned a lot of things when I was at Gilmer. Jeff Traylor and Matt Turner, Alan Metzel, probably the best mentors you can have as far as godly men and good coaches. And so I just learned a lot. And it was, you know, when you go to a place like Pine Tree, a lot of people make the mistake of trying to flip it in 1 or 2 years, and you get frustrated and you leave. And, you know, that wasn't my plan. My wife owns a business there in Longview, and so we didn't plan on leaving. And so I just told them, you hire a 32-year-old guy with no head coach experience. I don't have all the answers, but I'm going to be here and I'm going to get it figured out, and we're going to go to work. And that's what we did. We just showed up every day and went to work, and kids started buying in and believing, and we're hard on them. I mean, we coach them hard. They're the tough East Texas kids, and I don't want to coach any other type of kid.
I remember seeing this guy, at middle school games. Just doing all the extra stuff that you really don't see at the 5A level. You know, you're more of like a CEO at that level, but I'm really happy for you. I haven't seen you in a while.
Well, man, I'm from Union Grove, man. I'm a small school guy, so 5A, 6A don't matter. I'm going to treat them all like their last name's Lane.
Let me ask you one more question. Is separating the AD role from the football head coach role, do you think that helps a little bit when you're trying to rebuild a football program?
I know I don't think it's the best situation for everyone. I know for Pine Tree at the time it absolutely was.
Yeah.
Being 32 years old and not having any head coach experience, it was a great opportunity for me to come in and focus on football. Coach Barry Hill's been at Pine Tree since 1990. He knows the community. He understands the good, the bad. He knows everybody. And so for us at that time, it was absolutely the best thing to do. I don't think it works everywhere like that good.
Absolutely.
No. Coach, this season's been different for everybody, and I know you can't see me with my mask. You're wondering who's talking, but what's been y'all's biggest thing with all of this COVID? What's the biggest hurdle y'all have had to get over so far?
Really we've been blessed, man. We just this last couple of weeks we've started having a few exposures with our younger kids and things like that. But really our kids, it's important to our kids, so they take care of themselves. They wear their mask. They handle their business on the weekends, and really, we've been pretty blessed. We haven't had a ton of kids get sick. I got COVID right before the school year started, and thank God I was just tired for a few days and got back to work. And so, I told them all summer long, they were showing up working, and I said, I don't know when we're going to play ball, but we're going to play at some point. At some point, I just believed we were going to get to do it, and so we got to be ready when we got a shot. And, every week we get to play again, so life's good.
Well, Coach, we appreciate your time. We're going to take a quick commercial break. Best of luck tonight, man. Great to see you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Good to see you, too.
Right now at all Greg Orr Auto Collection locations in Texarkana. Shop from your phone, online, or in person, and make no payments up to 120 days with record low interest rates, drastic price reductions, and huge incentives on our vast and pristine selection. Plus, for sales or service, we will even pick up and deliver your vehicle to you. For all the money-saving details, please visit gregorauto.com. That's gregorauto.com.
Welcome back here to Grimm Stadium. Tiger Stadium, I should say.
Stadium at Grimm Park.
Grimm Park. It used to be Grimm Stadium back in the day, back when Billy played for the Razorbacks across town, but we won't talk about that.
You can call it whatever you want to call it.
That's right. That's right. We're kind of huddled up here. I'm going to social distance a little bit.
Before we get started, I got to ask something. I was walking through the mall the other day and saw Billy on the Hall of Fame wall in the mall. What is that for, Billy?
You never know. You never know. You never know where you'll find me, Tony. You never know where you'll find me.
Listen, Tony, this is about sports, not about roofing.
He was on the. Oh.
I think we may have lost some sound here.
I think we lost everything. If you can hear us there, we're gone. We have nothing. So I may have hit something. Can you hear me? Oh, I did.
If you're looking for authentic Cajun-style meats prepared and ready to cook and take home, look no further than Lanyard Specialty Meats. We here at Lanyard Specialty Meats select nothing but premium meats, and we season it to perfection so that you'll have all of Acadiana flavor here in your own home. Come by Lanyard Specialty Meats for all your tailgating needs for this good.
this game as well as the White House game. And I'm just telling you, this is not going to be the last 3 games that Texas High's played.
Well, and I'll tell you, this isn't just and you heard Coach Stanford kind of hit on the point, but I've been here for 4 years and watched the progression of Texas High as 9th graders, 10th graders, 11th graders, and it has been a brawl out on the field. Sometimes a brawl out on the field.
Yeah.
These two teams, there's no love lost. So I'm going to tell you tonight, you'll see a little extra energy from both of them. They took away an undefeated season for us. I think it was either 9th or 10th grade for the district championship, and we've done the same thing to them. So you're gonna see a pretty good game here tonight at Tiger Stadium.
I think it means a little more that they're both undefeated too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So you're telling me that? So you're telling me that Halter might have another level in there?
Halter has another gear, and it was on display one night out here. I mean, that guy when these lights go on. Now he's a practice player too. Don't get me wrong. It's not just when those lights come on, but when those lights come on, as I said on Twitter today, the freaks come out, and Jackson Halter's a freak out there. There's no question about it. I mean, you hear those names, Clayton Smith and sometimes Derek Brown, and sometimes that middle linebacker gets lost in translation in there. But that guy, he's what makes that defense tick. Okay, so don't think just because you don't hear his name in the paper or see his name a lot on Texarkana game day that he's not giving it everything he's got.
He's absolutely the most intense player on the field.
Yeah, and we call him the Bulldog.
Playoffs last year, and he was nearly in tears. He was so hopped up.
Well, and one of the things that I remember from last year, and I've even seen it in a couple of game film here, is his eyes get so big at the snap. And
you've equated it to Singletary.
And I referenced Singletary. And I mean, his ability to be able to move, side to side and be there is just what's so impressive to me.
I'll tell you the one thing I really appreciate, and it is the kids, so don't misunderstand me. They bought into the program, but the things that Coach Stanford has been through in 4 years since he's been here is – there's some coaches that don't go through 3 deaths, 2 of players, 1 of a coach in a program in 4 years. There's guys that don't go through that in a whole career. And I just thought of that this week, with the situation that happened over in New Boston. James Bowie had to deal with that. But I just thought of how Stanford has walked through that. And I remembered the last death and I was like, Coach, man, this is unbelievable what you're having to face. And he said, you know what, tested by fire, but we're going to come out on the other side better than what we were. I mean, that's just his response.
Man, he's a great Christian, and he walks the walk. And let me tell you something. It's kind of like I say those big names on defense kind of get all the notoriety, and Coach Stanford, which it's due, he gets a lot of the notoriety, but he has put together a staff, and one of them is going to be coming up in just a minute. He's put together a staff, and those guys love those kids, and those kids love that staff. And I'm telling you, they would run through a brick wall for either one of them would run through a brick wall for each other, and it's so fun. I'm tied into the program, and it's so fun to watch just my kid go through that and see all of the kids. That some of them are looking for a father figure, and there's a bunch of father figures out there, and they're who I would trust any of them with my kid going home and taking care of him for the rest of his life. I would trust all of them.
Yeah, I think that's the reason I love Coach Hawk so much is because he coaches intensely, but he loves them hard too. I'm telling you.
Well, and a coach that can do that is monumental for a program like this, because in today's world, and I won't even say today's world, you can even go back to whenever I played. There's times where a kid needs to get his head ripped off and let him know that he's not doing the best for himself, much less the team. But then at the same time, that coach come right back around when the kid either turns that around or does a good thing for the team, be the first one to pat them on the back and tell them great job and that they love them. And I mean, that's huge for a program like Texas High, especially when you have the number of athletes that you've got. That's what's impressed me, is just how those coaches are able to, and I don't know a better word than to use manage, but to be able to get to know all of those kids. I was watching the pregame earlier, and I was amazed. Every time someone did something, a coach was calling the kid's name out. And I mean, that's important for those kids.
And I'm telling you, not only is Texas High lucky, but Texarkana Game Day does such a great job at giving us a chance to get to know these coaches, that Texarkana is so blessed to have leaders like we do at Pleasant Grove and Arkansas High and LE. And I just use those four because they're the biggest in town. But man, those are guys that you want your kids playing for. And we got another one that's a former Arkansas Razorback. Had to throw that in. And
Absolutely.
He was a Texas High Tiger.
Yeah.
Coach Jeremy Harrell, who's the offensive line coach at Texas High. Coach,
listen, he's a former Razorback.
Okay.
Because he does not play now, and he reminds you all the time.
Hey,
I played on national TV.
You cut that arm, and he bleeds Razorback red.
That's
the
right.
other side is Texas High orange.
We were talking about a long time ago, for sure.
Coach, I kind of stepped up and gave your squad, your offensive linemen, the game ball last week, because you and I talked earlier in the week about that Marshall game, and you said, hey, I like my guys. They're going to be the difference in this game. And it was very, very evident from the first snap to the last snap that they were there to play and they were there to prove a point.
Yeah, they come out. It really started on Monday. We addressed it early. We told them at some point either we're going to tap out or they're going to tap out.
Mm-hmm.
And we made it very clear Monday during practice that we're going to be physical. We want to run the ball inside the tackles, because we can to start with. But to really prove a point and make those guys play how we want to play, which is really fast and really physical.
Mm-hmm.
So they did a good job.
Talk a little bit about the guys that make your offensive line tick.
Well, it all starts with our tackles, with Colin Shelley and Hayden Harrell. They've played a lot of games for me. They're really physical. They're really smart. And the main deal I always tell my guys is, if you don't play fast, you can't play for us. Because playing fast for us is a lot of misconception when you use the term fast with offensive line play. And if you are slow off the ball, you're going backwards. And so we try to do a good job up front to beat the defensive lineman off the ball, create that physical matchup on their side of the line of scrimmage. And I think coming off the ball fast and physical is where it starts for my guys up front. And then when we have DeMarcus Day at left guard and Damon Tyler Moore at right guard and Quayshawn McCullough at right guard, they kind of rotate a little bit. And then Brioski, Finley Warren, those guys are about 330 each. So we're blessed to have the size for sure inside to be able to get that inside run game going and being physical up front and push people off the ball. But like I said, from the day one till now, it's all about getting better each week and putting things together consistently, and they've done that.
So I was talking to a guy out of Jacksonville today doing a little game prep for next week, and he mentioned you because his son-in-law is wanting an apology because when Harold was playing, his son-in-law was playing linebacker, and Harold stopped driving him about 7 yards down the field.
Like I said, that was a long time ago.
But he made a statement. He said, when I watch Texas High just in film, getting ready, because he's getting ready for next week as well, he said it reminds me of that 02 team.
Yep.
And you were on that team.
I was.
How would you rate that statement he's making?
Well, there's a lot of similarities, especially up front, the size and the skill guys we have out wide. Of course, me being a part of the 02 state championship, we want to say we'd beat this group by 30. but being a coach of it, I can see a lot of similarities on offense and defense. Yeah. We fly around on defense. Up front, we're multiple offensively, it's whether running the ball or throwing it or getting our tight end game in there. And so there's really not a straight answer. I think each team is different in their own ways, but I like what this group does. Every week they show up, they love each other, they love to play, and they love being physical, which is the main thing for us as coaches is you really can't coach physical play. I mean, you're either going to be physical or you're going to bow down to it. And so we try to really stress being physical and coming off the ball and doing all the little things that propel you into the win category at the end of the night.
Coach, have you ever busted out the game film and showed them?
I try not to because every time I do, it might be a bad play on my part. They're like, what is that? So I try not to play any of my stuff, but I do show them a little bit of 02 sometimes just to get their mind thinking. When I was here, it never crossed your mind to play in the Cowboy Stadium game. I mean, you never did. And then when we got to that point, you just look out there and you're in awe of the situation. So I want these guys to think get that kind of thinking in their head that there's no stage too big for us. We
That's
can
good.
accept anything that we face as long as we stay together and we attack it on Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday during out the week, because it just doesn't – you can't just throw the tee out there on Friday night and expect to win, not with the teams that we play.
You brought up film, and one of the things that I have to do with football, in order for me to appreciate the offensive line, I have to go back and watch film because a lot of the times you're watching the ball. And so how do you prepare your guys each and every week that they're not going to get their names called all the time? They're not they're not going to get all the accolades that a wide receiver or a running back or the quarterback may get. I mean, the pancakes are fun. Trust me.
He feeds them pancakes. That's how he gets them ready.
That could be it. That could be it. But I mean, what's that mentality of that offensive lineman on what they're seeking each week?
Well, see, we go by the motto. We don't. Anytime our name's called, it's usually something bad's happening. So we just stress. We don't want any of the credit. We give it to our running backs. We give it to our receivers and our quarterbacks and our tight ends. We don't want to attack each week with the mindset of, what I'm going to get mine this week. It ain't about me individual. It's about us. And with my guys, they're such a close group that they'll drive you crazy sometimes because they're always excited about being here. They're always usually messing with each other. But when it comes down to it, they get ready to go. They play hard, and they don't really care about the credit. They just want to come off the ball. Now, they will brag about pancakes, and I got to get on to them a little bit, that even pancakes aren't necessarily the end game because it doesn't necessarily – benefit us if we pancake the wrong guy. That's the thing about defense. That's the thing about defensive.
Everybody was always trying to pancake me.
That's the thing I learned.
I wasn't going to make a tackle.
When you're on defense, 10 guys can go the wrong way when you're on defense and one guy make a play. If 10 guys go the right way and one guy messes up on offense, you get a bad play. So we try to make sure we're going to the right person and being physical when we get there. So.
Absolutely. Well, Coach, we really appreciate you being with us.
I'm glad y'all here.
Yeah.
Hopefully we play well tonight. We really appreciate what game day does for our school and the community, and we really appreciate of you guys.
Yeah.
Thanks,
and I'm going to tell you, if you never have a chance to go to Texas High practice and watch Coach Harrell and Coach Hawk go at it with each other, it's a lot of fun. Yeah. So we're selling tickets to the next practice.
We have our battles, that's for sure.
That's right.
Anyway, thank you guys.
Hello, Coach.
Well, hey, it's senior night part 2, and so we're going to go to the field now and introduce a few seniors from different areas of the school, and so we're going to kick it to Tiger Vision right now.
Good evening. This is Brian Bolt here with you live at Tiger Stadium at Grimm Park. We're here for the second of 3 senior nights. We're going to send it down to the field, and then we'll be back up here to the booth for a little more pregame, and then we're going to be, we're going to be in action here in about 25 minutes. So we're going to send it down to senior night.
Testing 1, 2. Testing. Without them, this game would not be possible. We ask you, as students, parents, and citizens, to demonstrate the kind of respect for these officials you extend to any dedicated person in a position of responsibility.
coaches, or officials, and you should remain courteous and respectful as you cheer for your team.
Because of social distancing due to COVID, we are recognizing seniors for the last 3 home games. At this time, our senior band are on the field with family members to be honored for their hard work.
Our first senior is Feliciani Bella, escorted by her parents, Lori and John Rachel, is in color guard and plays the flute. Paige Chambers, escorted by her parents, Diana and Curtis Chambers, is in the color guard. Connor Corbett, escorted by his parents Sheila and Stephen Corbett, is in the color guard and plays clarinet and tenor saxophone. Joseph Dupree is escorted by his parents Vicky and Kevin Dupree and plays the marimba and bass guitar. Ashley Fairbanks, escorted by her mother, Tamara Wilburn and Bill Wilburn, and plays the baritone.
Chris Gilliland is escorted by his parents, Amy and Michael Gilliland, and plays the marimba. Armani Griffey is escorted by her grandparents, Rose Smith and Early Griffey, and is a 3-year member of the color guard. Katarina Jordan is escorted by her parents, Luke and Jason Jordan, and plays the flute. Molly Laird is escorted by her parents Stephanie and Robert Laird and plays the oboe and the saxophone. Joshua Lauderbeck is escorted by his parents Amy and Casey Lauderbeck and is in percussion.
Raven McCoy, escorted by her mother Kimberly Gullett and her brother Navarre McCoy, plays the tenor saxophone. Jelena McDermott, escorted by her parents Jamie Tompkins and Levi McDermott, is in the color guard and plays the French horn. Hope McDonald, escorted by her parents Jana McDonald and Scott McDonald, plays the flute. Aaron Montana, escorted by his parents Brandy and Christopher Montana, plays the baritone and the jazz trombone. Anna Marino, escorted by her mother Maria Olvera and her brother Mariana Marino, is in color guard and plays the flute. Carlos Pinate, escorted by his parents Alan O'Connor and Carlos Pinate Sr., plays the sousaphone and tuba. Madison Point, escorted by her parents Felicia and John Point, is in percussion. Shaylee Poole, escorted by her parents Sean and Jeremy Poole, plays bass drum. Gabby Reed, escorted by her parents Wendy and Mark Reed, is drum major and plays the saxophone. Christian Rogers, escorted by his father Eddie Rogers, plays the synthesizer and piano.
Macy Sloan, escorted by her parents Crystal and Andre Sloan, is in the color guard and plays alto saxophone. Amelia Stansbury is escorted by her parents Paula Stansbury and Chad Stansbury and is in percussion. Kendra Sutton is escorted by her parents Aaron and Michael Sutton and plays bass clarinet. Anne Marie Vasquez is escorted by her parents Elizabeth and Orlando Groves and is in color guard. Raquel White is escorted by her mother and stepdad Raven and Lee Forte and is in percussion. Alicia Williams is escorted by her parents Leo Wilson and Sean Williams and plays the mellophone and ventriloquist. Jenna Woodard is escorted by her parents Joanna and Russell Woodard and plays snare drum and is in percussion. Kate Woodard is also escorted by her parents Joanna and Russell Woodard and plays snare drum and is in percussion. Michaela Zerverna is escorted by her parents Casey and Brian Zerverna and is in color guard and plays saxophone.
Thank you, seniors, for helping create the best band in Tigerland. The students wish to thank their family members for the love and support shown to them throughout their lives.
They also want to thank the band directors, teachers, and administrators at Texas High for the support they have been given.
Texas High says thank you, class of 2021, for your dedication and for sharing your talents with our community. Your leadership is greatly appreciated.
Texas High Student Council would like to thank our sponsors of Spirit Items this year: Usama's Pizza, Lafferty's Home and Appliance, ERA Raffaelli Realtors, and Texarkana Emergency Center and Hospital.
Wisdom Animal Clinic, H&R Block, Red River Soft Wash, the Eye Guys, Econ Lodge of Texarkana, and Customer First Smart Home Repair. Please visit these businesses and thank them for their support.
In the spirit of goodwill and sportsmanship, Texas High Student Council is making a donation in the name of Pine Tree High School Student Council to Carry the Load, an endorsed program of the Texas Association of Student Councils.
Although we are not meeting as councils at Midfield due to COVID protocol, we appreciate your counsel and wish you a great year.
Please direct your attention to midfield and the Texas High varsity cheerleaders. They are seniors, Captain Adrian Armstrong, Maddie Gibbons, Corey Hamilton, Cammie Harmon, Johnny Heater, Mary Grace McAfee, and Kylie Strepker.
Juniors are Captain Peyton Mooney, Talisha Golston, Jolie Eisenhower, Keely Lyons, and Ashlyn Robertson. The cheer coach is Courtney Waldrop and assistant cheer coach is Emily Munn.
Thanks, cheer. Would you please stand for the national anthem, presented by the award-winning Tiger Band under the field direction of Senior Drum Major Gabby Reed and Junior Drum Major Julia Rodden.
Please remain standing for a moment of silence to honor the participants in tonight's game and for our troops at home and abroad.
Thank you. Please continue standing for the playing of the Texas High School song by the best band from Tigerland. Thank you, Pine Tree, for the playing of your school song. Now please continue standing for the playing of the Texas High School song by the best band from Tigerland.
Thank you. You may be seated. Tonight we are going to have a competition between the homestands and the band and the student section.
The student section and band are Texas, and the homestands are Tigers. Tiger Cheer and the Texas High Steppers will lead the crowd on both sides.
Just follow the signs and yell for the Tigers.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for your attention during the pregame activities.
Have a great evening. Enjoy the game and have a safe trip home. Go Tigers!
And we are live here at Tiger Stadium at Grimm Park on this beautiful Friday evening, November evening. Eric Aiken along with Brian Bolt And, Brian, I'm looking forward to this football game tonight.
That's right. It's the battle of the unbeatens, and somebody will prevail tonight and be on the way to maybe a district championship.
District championship. Got to win that one first or get in the playoffs first, and then possibly have a chance to make a march towards Jerry's World and have a chance to win the state championship.
That's right. And we're down here, and both teams are getting ready to come on the field. It's a good night in Texarkana, Texas. About 60 degrees, a clear night, no rain in the forecast, not a lot of wind. The flags that are on the poles are not moving too much, so you can't ask for a better night for some Texas football.
That's right. We've already had the national anthem. Two teams are getting prepared to take the field, and it's going to be a fun night tonight. You know, we were talking earlier, just offsetting this week. You and I have been talking about just some things about the game, just kind of putting together some keys to the game. And so for Texas High, what do you feel like is tonight? What do you think is going to take for them to pull out tonight?
Yeah, so for Texas High, just like it is every week, they've got to get their run game going early. They've got a big running back that went last week. Stewart went for 254 and 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just phenomenal. So if they get him going early, they're going to be hard to beat. The next thing is turnovers. You know, that's just any game it is, and especially in high school football. They want to force as many as they can and commit as few as they can. And usually whoever wins the turnover war usually prevails on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and you know, when you look at that Texas High team, which is going to, you know, for Pine Tree, it's simply just going to be can't allow the big plays because Texas High is a big play team. Whether it's run or it's the pass, you know, their offense is well balanced, and so for Pine Tree, it's going to be preventing those big plays. And then, as we know in football, the battle starts up front, and so they're going to have to. Their O-line is going to have to control that Texas High defensive line, which is, in my opinion, it's one of the best that I've ever seen in my short lifetime.
That's right. That's right. You know, and they say everything's bigger in Texas. Texas High runs out with 3 Texas flags. They've got the orange smoke, the gray smoke, and I tell you what, we are getting ready for kickoff here in Texarkana, Texas, and I'm afraid we're in for a treat tonight.
It's going to be a really good treat, and Pine Trees come out in their highlighter yellow jerseys. We can see them very well tonight. And then Texas High, it is Friday the 13th. They are back in black.
That's right. That's right.
A little AC/DC reference there.
That's right.
So.
You know what's cool is every week the Texas High puts out what their team is going to be wearing. They've got a mannequin there in their field house that you know, is a football player, and they come out with a nice little promo of what they're going to wear, and I think that's what they had on there, back in black tonight. Man, I tell you, I was ready to see them.
That's right. That's right. Captains are going to head to midfield, and because of COVID, it's just been one captain per team this year. For Texas High, it's going to be Clayton Smith once again, and then for Pine Tree, we're going to get a number here in just a few minutes. But, you know, so we're going to the coin toss, and so it looks like it's going to be number 40 is Ryan Livingston is going to be the captain for Pine Tree tonight. So, you know, it's captains in the COVID year. It's a different thing. And I don't know how you guys did it, but I see a lot of teams, it's a captain for the year, and then they got to earn it for the week. So how did you guys do it when you coached?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different ways you can do it. You pick, some teams pick team captains before the season. That's who represents you at every game. You know, sometimes it's week by week. Guys that had really big games the last week, or guys that had really good weeks of practice. You know, sometimes or a lot of times you'll see senior night and homecoming and stuff like that. You'll have 20 seniors that'll walk out to be the captain. So there's not really one way, but everybody does it a little bit different. And I kind of like that they voted a team captain, and it's the same one every week.
Yeah. So Pine Tree has won the toss and elected to receive in the first half, put their offense on the field immediately, which I'm not surprised by Coach Kerry Lane. Coach Lane was at He was at Gilmer and then came over to Pine Tree. This is his 5th season there, and has done a great job in pretty much rebuilding this program. I would just say building this program into what it is, having these guys undefeated. They are 5-0-1 coming into tonight's game. Texas High comes into tonight's game undefeated as well at 6-0, and they are ranked number 6 in Dave Campbell's this year. And so I'm just going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, you better buckle your seatbelts because we got 2 high-powered offenses, and we got the Texas High defense we've talked about all year. You're in for a treat in Texas High football here in Texarkana, Texas. And so Hernandez has got it teed up. And we are underway here at Tiger Stadium. Number 6, Turner on the return. Gets a nice return after a short kick. It's going to be 1st and 10 for the Pirates at around the 40-yard line. And so we'll begin play there. And here comes that Texas High defense.
Yeah, and on the tackle there, number 91, Cameron Thomas. He's a junior, came flying down the field and made the tackle at the 40-yard line, and our action's underway.
That's right. That's right. Great to see Halter back in there tonight. We call him the bulldog of the defense. DJ Freeman hands it off to Ethan Morgan. He's going to have a gain of 3 yards. Going to bring up 2nd down and 7.
Yeah, and the running back there for Pine Tree drugged some defenders a few yards and was finally drugged down by number 90, the nose guard, big Christian Surratt.
Surratt is a big dude, I can tell you that. So going to be 2nd down and 5. 2nd down and 5, we'll call it. Freeman back to pass. Pass is intended for like number 2, Jaden Smith.
Yeah, and it looked like he got that ball out there just a little quicker than what he wanted to and was off target with his throw there. He had big number 10, Clayton Smith, in his face, and so he knew he had to get rid of it.
Yeah, Jaden Smith, you'll see him in their goal line stance. He is 5'5", 202, just like a little bowling ball running around out there. But other than that, he's going to play a little H-back. Got him in the slot right now. So Freeman hands the ball off to Morgan. Morgan's going to go around the right side. Looks like he's going to be just short of the 1st down. Going to bring up 4th down and 3.
Yeah, that was a good play there by number 38, Lathan Ragland, the senior cornerback, to run him out of bounds short of the 1st down marker.
Short or shirt?
I think it's a little of both.
It's a little of both. All right. Brant Herbert into punt for the Pirates. Number 7, Caleb Arnold back to receive for the Tigers. And, Caleb wisely tells everybody to get out of the way because it goes out of bounds. And that was a great first possession for the Tiger defense there, 3 and out. Because I'm going to tell you, the Pirates have a high-powered offense. If they get it rolling, it rolls.
Yeah, that's exactly what you want to come out in your first drive. You put your defense on the field, and that's exactly what Coach Stanford likes to do when he defers to the second half. He wants his defense to come out and make a statement early, and getting a 3 and out on the first possession, that gives your offense a lot of momentum going into their first drive.
So Mike Henry in at quarterback leads that big offensive line onto the field with Stewart flanked to his left. Fakes the handoff. It looks like a little bit of a broken play, but McHenry turns it into something, and he's going to be a nice gain. Turns a busted play into a very nice gain. Going to have about 7 yards on the play. 2nd down and 3 for the Tigers.
That was good coverage by Pine Tree there, and he was finally brought down by number 33, Cameron Turner.
So 2nd down at the 36-yard line. Henry gets a snap. And that defense for Pirates bottles up Stewart on the carry. He's going to be dropped for a yard loss.
Yeah, and I think that's what we're going to see a lot tonight. That defensive line and that linebackers for the Pine Tree Pirates, they're really going to stack that box and try to make Texas High throw the ball because, like we said last week on the ground, Braylon Stewart, I mean, he's looking at 250-plus yards. they're going to try to keep him to as little as they can tonight.
Yep. They're going to show so McHenry's pass to Ryan Sellers is complete, and he's going to have enough for a first down. Going to bring up first down and 10 at the it's like the 44-yard line.
Yeah, and that was good coverage there by the cornerback, Tyler Neal. But, and just a great route there. A great route by Ryan Sellers.
Miller comes in motion, resets. McHenry back to pass. He's got a man open across the middle, and it's going to be complete to Blake Rogers. And ball was a little bit underthrown, but Rogers was able to get in there and catch that.
Yeah, and good protection by that big offensive line, and it was a little underthrown. I think if he would have hit him in stride, he was off to the races. A lot of green grass in front of him.
Right. So what you're going to see from Pine Tree tonight, as you've already mentioned, a lot of different fronts. It'll be 4-man, 3-man, 5-man, but I look for them to stack the box to try to stop the run. Fumble on the play, on the snap. Looks like Texas High gets on it. Miller recovers. Going to be a drop for a loss for 2 yards. So going to bring up 2nd down and 12 on the play. So McHenry gets a signal. That's a very unusual error by the Texas High Tigers. McHenry fakes it. Has a man open. Oh, had Miller open down the middle, but just couldn't quite just overthrow him just a little bit.
Yeah, and that was the same play they ran just a minute ago when they hit Blake Rogers, I believe, down the middle of the field and was a little underthrown. They come back to the same play there, a little play action, trying to get across the middle with those 2 safeties, which that's where you want to attack, but just a little overthrown, and we're seeing Brayson McHenry right now, a little off target, but
yep.
I figure he's going to settle in pretty quickly.
Yeah, and that's, he's a junior this year, first-year starter on varsity. Back to pass, and just throws it just a little bit behind Ryan Sellers. Very unusual for Brayson there because 65% completion percentage this year.
Yeah, no doubt. He looks a little uncomfortable throwing the ball right now. That's not a big deal. That's what Coach Stanford's down there clapping, telling him move on to the next play and let's go. And like we talked about, he's very poised in the pocket. So he's going to make some corrections, and I assume that he's still going to have a big night through the air.
4th down 11, Tigers are going to go for it. So it's a big game, so why not a big play? We've talked about Coach Stanford is a gunslinger, and McHenry hits Sellers in stride, and Sellers is in for the touchdown. I got so excited I couldn't say it.
Well, you and I both are getting a little tongue-tied tonight, but exactly the way we called it. Sellers looks one way and comes back right between the 2 safeties in the middle of the field, just like we talked about, where you want to hit them. And he throws a dime to Ryan Sellers, who does the rest of the work and gets the Tigers into the end zone for the first score tonight.
Want to congratulate Ryan Sellers, not on just that touchdown, but he's signed to play baseball with Texas Tech this week. He and your favorite player.
That's right, man, the guy with the hair.
Jackson Halter. And so Hernandez remains perfect on the year once again with the extra point. And so with 8:36 left in the first quarter, Texas High 7, Pine Tree 0. And so tonight, here's what you're going to see from Pine Tree coming out the next time. It's a great replay there. Hits Sellers right in stride, and if you get it like that to Sellers in open field, he's going to score every time.
That's right.
But what you're going to see from Pine Tree probably next series is they're going to come out in a totally different front. And so I watched that on film this week, and you probably saw the same, is that they just do this multiple front thing. So they may have a 3-2-5 defense, and then they come back out in a 4-4-3. I mean, they mix it up a lot.
Yeah, I mean, they're gonna come out just like they did. I mean, the big numbers on the ground last week that Texas High had, they're going to come out and try to stop that, and they did on that drive. They did a very good job of stopping that. Now Texas High is beating them through the air, so I'm anxious to see what they do when they come back out. Are they going to drop back and try to defend the pass, or are they going to crowd that line again and try to keep the run game to a minimum?
So Hernandez gets a high kick, and it's fielded by number 8, Nakima Williams. Williams brings it back to the bring 1st and 10 at the, trying to get a ball spot. There we go. Officials act like it's early in the year, you know. So who had the tackle?
Well, this guy down here doesn't know where to spot the ball because Coach Stanford's tearing into him a little bit about something.
That's right. Once again, as he does every week, invites officials to Thanksgiving dinner, you know. So it's 1st and 10 at the 22-yard line for the Pirates. Ball handed off to number 22, Morgan, and he's going to be dropped down for a loss by none other than number 10, Clayton Smith.
On the tackle, Jackson Halter for the Tigers. Loss of 4, 2nd down, 14.
So I think Halter was in on that tackle as well. So 2nd down and 14 for the Pirates. DJ Freeman, who is usually a factor in most games, so far hasn't been a factor. He's back to pass and throws a dart to number 6, Turner, but it's a little bit behind Keelan Turner.
Yeah, and defending on there was number 7, Caleb Arnold, one of the safeties for Texas High. That was pretty good coverage, but just the pass was a little bit behind the receiver and going to bring up 3rd down and long.
You know, Billy Lavender was talking about in 4 years this team, Pine Tree, spoiled an undefeated season a couple of years ago for these guys. So they're coming out with a little intensity tonight. Freeman on the carry, but he's brought down, thrown down out of bounds. Almost had a late hit there. A little unnecessary roughness, but going to bring up 4th down.
Yeah, and I'm surprised there wasn't a flag thrown there. The defensive guy for Texas High just kept playing a little bit after the whistle and threw him down out of bounds, but maybe a little home field advantage tonight. No flag, no harm, no foul.
I'm telling you, feed those guys in that dressing room right, you get those calls every once in a while.
That's right.
So Herbert in to kick the ball. Freeman in to kick it. And, so it looks like it's going to go out of bounds at the 31-yard line. So that's a little bit different look for Pine Tree in this game with Freeman coming in as the punter. And so with 7:38 left in the first quarter, Texas High 7, Pine Tree 0. We will see you after, well, we're going to keep it here. We're having a little rough time tonight, but we're going to get better, I promise. So director tells me to go to commercial and then tells me to stop. But hey, you know what? We just adjust. We just adjust. So here we go. McHenry back in at quarterback. Gets a snap, hands it off to Stewart. Stewart's going to go straight up the middle, just like behind that big offensive line, and they're going to push him and keep shoving, and he's going to have plenty for a 1st down, a gain of 12 yards. That big offensive line right there, dog.
That's right. Look here on the replay. He gets wrapped up after about 4 yards of a gain, and those big guys for Texas High's offensive line keep pushing and pushing. Ends up being a 12-yard gain on 1st down.
And when you have a play like that early in the game, the defensive line tends to go, oh, man, these guys are for real. Hands it off once again to Stewart. Stewart's going to try to go inside but break it back outside. But that Pirate defense swarms, and he's going to be dropped for a 1-yard loss. Going to bring up 2nd down and 11.
Yeah, and one of the linebackers, number 40, Ryan Livingston, was one of the first ones there, but he was tackled by a host of Pirates. That run went nowhere, actually dropped for a loss. And they're going to change the formation and bring their tight end, number 18, Nate Minnie, in the game.
Lee Biller in at H-back, so Minnie will step in at tight end and bring Kelly to the near side. Got Rogers and Sellers in at receiver. So going to hand it off to Stewart, going to add that tight end, and it's going to open that hole up. And so Stewart's going to have a carry, going to have a gain of about 8 yards, going to bring up 3rd down and 3.
And if you notice Nate Minnie on that play, he's making sure both receivers are off the line on that side.
Yeah.
Don't be surprised to see Nate Minnie line up at tight end and go out for a pass here pretty soon. That's what he's wanting to do, is make sure that those 2 receivers are not lined up on the line so that he's eligible to go out.
Yep. So with 6:10 left in the first quarter, Texas High 7, Pine Tree 0. We'll be back after this message.
Beautiful, isn't it? Beautiful, handcrafted stone is our passion, and we ensure our customers receive the quality they deserve. We stand by our word, we stand by our products, services, and work that we do. Our team of experienced craftsmen and product experts have been perfecting their craft of fabricating and installing stone since 1998. Visit the Design Center at Red River Lumber to see the many beautiful stone options available for your next project.
Experience here is going to be very simple.
Welcome.
You're gonna get what you want.
Welcome back on this beautiful night here in Texarkana at Tiger Stadium. It's a beautiful November night where most teams have begun the playoffs. Crosstown, Pleasant Grove advanced last night. But the upper divisions 5 and 6A in Texas are still playing district play as we are here tonight with 2 undefeated teams coming in tonight in district. So as we come back, Stewart gets the carry. He's going to take it up inside and going to have enough for a first down.
Then brought down by Pine Trees number 54, Rashad Livingston. And I just want to say, look, you know, everyone watching at home, it is a little rusty tonight. Eric and Frank, they're trying to get back in the swing of things. They're a little rusty, so I'll carry them through this if we have to. But
yeah, we hear you. Stewart gets the carry, tries to cut it up inside, and breaks free, and is going to have a gain of 9 yards. It's really more like 9.5, really, really close to a first down, and they're going to give it to him. So he's going to have a gain of 10 on the play. 1st and 10 at the 36-yard line.
Yeah, and they were all kind of bunched up there, and he came out the backside, and they thought the big linemen were trying to push him downfield again, and he didn't. He squeaked out and got some extra yards for the first down.
McHenry on the pass intended for Ryan Sellers. Ryan Sellers got bumped by the defensive back there and kind of knocked him off his route a little bit and knocked the timing off. So Sellers comes out of the game. Clayton Smith sneaks in a little bit on this near side. And so you can always, he becomes either a target or a decoy really quick. Hand off to Stewart. Stewart's going to go to the left side and is going to be stuffed immediately. He might have got 1 yard. He's going to be stuffed immediately at the line of scrimmage. It's going to bring up 3rd down. And they're going to say no gain on that, so 3rd down and 10.
Yeah, and that's number 14, Dalen Evans. He's the freshman, 6'5", 250 that we talked about. He's in playing on the D-line right now, and he is one of the key factors for that Pirate defense.
He's a full-grown man. So a little tunnel screen to Ryan Sellers, and Ryan Sellers runs over the defensive back. He sends a message tonight, and it's going to have enough for the first down. Great play right there.
Yeah, and they set up the tunnel screen and get it out to Sellers, and he runs over a defensive back for the first down, and Texas High's offense is clicking on all cylinders right now. Also, number 70, big Hayden Harrell got out there leading the way. You know, on a tunnel screen like that, it's very, very big time. You got to have your linemen get out there and do that.
And it's going to be a touchdown. Pass was Clayton Smith, and let's just say this, I would say he got mossed.
Yeah, you see here on the replay, he just goes up over the guy, and sometimes it just bees like that.
That's right. Well, here's the deal. It's like you say every week, throw it up and let your athlete be an athlete.
That's right.
If you don't know, you guys that are watching, Clayton Smith is committed to Oklahoma as a defensive end, but I believe he could be a great receiver as well. So Hernandez on the kick afterwards, and it's going to be 14 with 4:19 left, 14-0 Texas High.
Yeah, and one more time on the replay here. I mean, Clayton Smith just goes up over number 19, Jeremiah Blinks, the cornerback for the Pirates, and man, just makes a great catch over the back of him. And you know, if we were doing plays of the year, that would be one of our top few so far.
That might be a nominee right there. But I will tell you is McHenry just throws a beautiful ball. I talked to his dad after the game 2 weeks ago that was here at Grimm. He he talks about how he watches film. He spends 2 days a week just nothing but film, just constantly. But then he's in the backyard working on things. I talked to a guy that was over treating their yard at their house. Said he was out back working on stuff, had tires in all different settings. And so, I mean, the kid works. What you see on Friday night is a result of what he's been doing in his backyard.
That's right, and he came out and he was a little rusty there the first drive of the game, and that's what we talked about. We didn't expect for that to last long, and it didn't.
Yep. So Hernandez's kick goes out of bounds. It's going to be a 5-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. So they'll have the ball at the 35-yard line. So Stanford wanting to get clarification. So 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line. It went out at the 25, so it'll be 1st and 10 at the 30. And so Freeman comes back out. Last week he had a quiet 134 yards rushing, so he's a threat the entire time. Morgan on the carry, and that defensive line, number 25 on the carry, Tyler Sheffield.
Yeah, and then on the tackle, the guy with the magical hair, number 21, Jackson Halter, and they've also brought in number 33, who was Jackson's backup when he was hurt a couple weeks ago, Alex Hines, and so they're both in the game right now, and a pretty good duo there.
Yeah, Hines is a sophomore, so obviously he's got a chance to take over for Jackson next year. Freeman under pressure, and he's going to be brought down for a sack.
And there he is again, and he's fired up. Number 21, Jackson Halter. Here on the replay, you can see the defensive line getting good pressure on there. Jackson comes in. No one touches him, makes the sack, and he's fired up, and he's getting the rest of the defense fired up.
Yeah, you know, we interviewed him a couple of weeks ago, and he talks about there's nothing about like when those lights come on Friday night. And he said, you just can't explain it. The emotions just run deep in your veins.
That's right. The lights come on and the freaks come out.
That's right. I believe that was on Twitter today. So Freeman hands it back off to Sheffield. Sheffield's going to cut it back to the other side, but Texas High defense is there for containment. Going to have a gain of about 4 yards. Going to bring up 4th down and 11.
And brought down by number 1, Jalen Green. It was somewhat of a little counter play there. Yeah. Nice looking little play. But Texas High's defensive line was taught to stay at home when plays go away like that, and sure enough, the ball came right back to him.
Yeah. So Freeman into punt for Pine Tree, which creates a threat for a fake. So you got to stay on the fake there. Arnold in to receive. Freeman, it's a short punt. It's going to be 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line, and that's where the Tigers will take over. And so they're going to have short field position one more time.
Yeah, and this timeout's going to be brought to you by Retreat Therapy and Cool Spa. They're an outpatient therapy service that provides state-of-the-art technology to help you feel and look your very best. They offer whole body cryotherapy and can offer therapy to specific body parts. If you want more information about Retreat Therapy and Cool Spa, you can look them up on Facebook or find them at 4321 McKnight Road in Texarkana.
McHenry hands off to Stewart. Stewart takes the ball straight up the middle. Going to have a gain of about 4 yards. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 4. Got some extracurricular activities after the play. Got a flag on the play. Looks like Stewart didn't like something. So looks like Guy Johnson's going to come in to replace Stewart. So Stanford he'll calm him down. So after the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, 15-yard penalty on Stewart. And so they're going to, Stanford wants an explanation. So I'm sure that there's something on both sides. He just wanted to make sure that that he understood that there is two sides to the coin here. So Guy Johnson's going to come in at running back. McHenry still in at quarterback. It'll be Miller in the slot. Going to have Zane Dotson at the top of the route. Set up the screen, and it's going to be an incomplete pass. They tried to set that up for the running back, but just couldn't complete the pass. Threw it just a little bit high. So bring out 3rd down and 25.
Set up the screen there, number 40, Ryan Livingston, one of the linebackers for the Pirates. He didn't bite on the play fake and read it perfectly, and so it was probably best that McHenry did overthrow that, or he would have been tackled for a loss.
So we've got 2 receivers on each side. Stewart comes in motion. McHenry back to pass. And he's going to tuck it and run. And he's going to have a nice gain, and it's going to be a gain of, looks like about 20 yards.
Yeah, and here on the replay, he looks downfield and he's pressured by number 27, Sam Williams, and he just tucks the ball and tries to get what he could get and takes a good lick there. As a head coach, you're always hoping your quarterback will take it out of bounds and not take the hit. But
yep. So it's going to bring up 4th down and 4. So McHenry starts with a hard count.
Yeah, and big number 10, Clayton Smith's at the top of your screen. Don't be surprised for them to throw it up to him here.
Yeah, single coverage. No safety over the top to help out. So, and he's going to be open, and he's going to be, man, there's a lot of.
And a flag did come out way down the field.
Yeah.
I don't think his had any rocks in it. No. When he tried to throw it, it just kind of fluttered down. But that guy, the cornerback, I'm trying to see, let's see, it was number 19, Jeremiah Blinks, and their fans are going crazy over there, but he was all over Clayton Smith.
Yeah.
The ball was a little underthrown, but still, nonetheless, he had a hold of his jersey and was all over him there.
Yeah, so. Number 73, Day was excited about that one. He was like, we're going to go this direction right here.
That's right. And speaking of crowds, Pine Tree brought a pretty good crowd on the other side, and Texas High did not disappoint tonight. They've got a pretty good crowd here at Grim Park.
Tell you what, this is a great crowd for COVID season. But Stewart gets the carry, and he's going to be brought down in the backfield, going to be dropped for a small loss. And we've got a player down on the field.
I think that's big number 75, Colin Shelley. I cannot
he's
see that
to
for
his
sure.
shoulder. His shoulder. So we're going to take a break, and we'll be back and hopefully give you an update on the injury.
Right now at all Greg Orr Auto Collection locations in Texarkana. Shop from your phone, online, or in person and make no payments up to 120 days with record low interest rates, drastic price reductions, and huge incentives on our vast and pristine selection. Plus, for sales or service, we will even pick up and deliver your vehicle to you. For all the money-saving details, please visit gregorauto.com. That's gregorauto.com.
So Shelley walked off under his own power, and so to take his spot is going to be Braden Tucker, who's a senior, comes into the game. And tell you what, this offensive line, it's been really good this year. Stewart gets the carry, is going to cut it back, and he's going to have a nice game. Going to be out of bounds at the 22-yard line.
Yeah, and his first play in, I want to give a shout out there to number 50, Braden Tucker. What a great job manhandling that defensive end there on that play. So I was watching him to see, coming in, being a smaller guy than the guy you just came in to replace. And Tucker looks like he's going to hold his own.
Well, that's the deal, that when you're at practice is those twos are going to get just as much work as those ones. I mean, they know, they understand injuries can happen. So Stewart on the carry once again is going to take it up that left side. And right there between Tucker and Day-Day. And it's going to be enough for a first down. So it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Tigers at the 19-yard line with 20 seconds left in the first quarter.
Over on the sideline, Colin Shelley's taking his pads off, but he is over there moving his shoulder, rotating it around. I don't know if it was just a stinger or maybe a little dislocation or something like that, but he looks good, looks like he's in a little bit of pain, but nothing serious.
Yeah, Dr. Mitchell down there does a great job for our athletes here at Texas High as well as the athletes here in Texarkana. So Stewart gets the carry. He's going to take it between those two tackles once again, and they're going to get him out for a gain of 8 yards. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 2. And that's going to bring it to the end of the first quarter with Texas High at 14, Pine Trees 0. And we'll be back right after these messages.
A strong work ethic takes pride in a job well done. This is the kind of person you need. Express Employment Professionals can help because we understand what it takes to hire good people. It takes real people, real interviews. We find good people, matching the right skills for the right jobs. Express knows jobs. Get to know Express. Go to expresspros.com to find a location near you.
At Farmers Bank and Trust, we're committed to
putting. Welcome back to Tiger Stadium, where the Texas High Tigers lead 14-0. Really appreciate Joey Martin over at Express Employment for sponsoring Texarkana Game Day, as well as I think you've got Ship Outdoor that's a sponsor as well.
Yeah, this second quarter is going to be brought to you by Ship Outdoor, your message at the speed of digital. Their 18 massive digital billboards across the Arc-of-Tex can change your message instantly. Their GeoPath audited digital billboard locations in Texarkana and Shreveport offer more than 7 million weekly impressions for your advertising message when combined. If you'd like to talk more about getting some advertisement with Ship Outdoor, you can get it at shipoutdoor.com.
Begin the second quarter. Texas High is 2nd down and 3. Hand off to Stewart. Stewart's going to be brought down for a loss of 2 yards. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 5 at the 15-yard line. So I was looking down at Shelley. Looks like they're taping him up, and he's moving that shoulder well. I'd look for him to be back in there. His dad's down there checking on him, which I would too if it was my child as well. So looks like 14 is checked in the game for Pine Tree. Folks, he is a freshman, and he is a full-grown man. McHenry back to pass, and Miller, it's intended for Miller, but it is overthrown. Miller's turning around looking for the flag, expecting a flag on that.
Yeah, their feet kind of got tangled up there. Could be called a pass interference by number 10, Courtney Stidman. The ball was overthrown, so I'm not sure if they thought that the ball was uncatchable. But nonetheless, the field goal team's going to come on and attempt to get some points.
So 32-yard field goal attempt by Hernandez. Great snap by DePriest. Kick is up, and it is good, and that is going to be Hernandez long for the year, 32 yards, and so that's going to make Texas High 17, Pine Tree 0 with 11:15 to go in the first half. And I'll just tell you, this is about possessions, and Texas High is 3-0 on possessions. They've scored on all 3, and Pine Tree has scored none, obviously.
Yeah, we've gone through one quarter here and not seeing any turnovers. Both teams are taking care of the ball and doing a pretty good job of keeping their drives going. Texas High's just came out on top of that so far, and looking good so far, putting up 17 points.
That's right. And while we got just a little bit of a timeout here, I want to say once again, Tiger Vision, they do a great job. All the camera work that you see are all students here at Texas High, so they do a phenomenal job. I can't praise them enough with Mr. Aldridge and their team, they do a great job from directing to camera operation, as well as they run multiple things for our feed at Texarkana Game Day, as well as the live feed for the scoreboard here at the stadium. Hernandez is going to squib kick it, and it's going to be fielded by number 6, Keelan Turner, and he's going to be brought down hard. And it's going to bring up 1st and 10 for the Pirates.
And he was brought down by number 45, Jaden Kelly there. Thought it might have been a horse collar, but the refs didn't call it, so no harm, no foul.
That's right. So he's brought down by, I think he didn't get inside the collar. He just grabbed him by the jersey and pulled him down. So Freeman comes back out, brings his offense out. And, so he's back to pass, rolls out, back to pass. It's going to be complete to Williams, the senior wide receiver for the Pirates. And he looks like he's shaking up just a little bit.
Then you can see here on the replay, he just rolls out, waits for his receiver to clear the linebacker there in the flats and just throws a good pass in there, and it's going to be a 1st down for Pine Tree.
Pine Tree runs a similar offense to Texas High as far as alignment. So number 25, Sheffield on the carry. Going to have a gain of 4 yards. Going to bring up 2nd down and 6.
Yeah, close to the 50-yard line where he was upended by number 7, Caleb Arnold.
And so I'm assuming that Morgan may be injured. He's their starting running back and has usually been a big factor, but he seems to not have been back in the last couple of series. I see him standing on the sideline, so maybe he just didn't do something he was supposed to do. So once again, Sheffield gets the carry. Going to be brought down of a gain of about 2 yards on that. Excuse me, I'm going to back that up and say 1 yard. 3rd down and 5.
And number 21, Jackson Halter, came flying in from that middle linebacker position to keep that gain to only 1.
So 3rd down, this is the money down. And so far, it's been 3 and out all night for Pine Tree. No 1st downs yet. So Freeman rolls out, being chased by Clayton Smith. Halter's going to pursue as well and going to run him out of bounds. And Freeman's going to be run out of bounds on the Texas High sideline. And he's going to be short. Actually, he's going to be dropped for a loss, going to be brought out of bounds for a loss. And so it looks like they're going to punt once again.
Yeah, and that was good defense there by the Texas High Tigers, and 2 of them were in pursuit. Number 10, Clayton Smith, and number 21, Jackson Halter, and it's probably a good thing that out of bounds area got there pretty quick before they did.
Yeah, Freeman, I was a little concerned. He was running into one of the student trainers over there, but she was okay. She's probably had that before. So Freeman in to punt. Low line drive kick. Arnold's going to field it, and he's going to bring it back to the 19-yard line. Going to be 1st and 10 for the Tigers at the 19.
Yeah, number 75, Colin Shelley, he got taped up over there, and he's back in the game. So let's see how that shoulder does for him coming back in on this first play.
I'll just tell you, when you're a senior, tape it up, Coach. I'm going to finish my senior season.
Well, senior or not, that guy right there is pretty tough and pretty strong. We watch him week in and week out lay some huge blocks on guys.
Here's the deal with Shelley. He's not intimidated because he practices against Clayton Smith every week. And so that's going to make you even better on the field on Friday night when you compete against that all week long. Stewart gets the carry. Going to have a gain of 2 yards, bring up 2nd down and 8, bring it out to the 22-yard line.
He's brought down by number 21, Brian Farnham.
And we've got a player injured. Injury timeout. And so we're going to step away for a minute, and so we'll be back here in just a few minutes.
We are excited to announce here at Texarkana Emergency Center and Hospital that we have expanded our capabilities to better serve our community. As a hospital, we have the capability for inpatient services. After your outstanding emergency care, we can smoothly transition you into one of our new inpatient rooms that have telemetry monitors in every room to continue your concierge medicine care. While our patients continue receiving their care in their inpatient suites, we also make sure that your loved ones are taken care of with our outstanding facilities. Our added services include a procedure room and also the capability of MRIs. With our imaging, we are able to offer outpatient, inpatient, and emergency room, MRI, CT, ultrasound, and X-ray. We are honored by your support and look forward to serving all your future medical needs.
All right, we are back, and it looks like the injured player is Braylon Stewart. And so the starting running back for Texas High. And I think Anderson is out as well, so it looks like Guy Johnson might be the guy, no pun intended, for the rest of the night as well. And so we're just kind of waiting for him to get up. And so looks like he's on his feet and they're helping him off. And as always, Tiger fans are always gracious when a young man goes down. Looks like he might have a leg injury, maybe a knee injury. Hopefully it's, as we'll just say this, we hope it's not ACL or anything like that. But the way he responded, it just didn't look good. But hey, that's why we play the game of football, and we got other guys on the team as well that hopefully will step up.
That's right.
You just hate it for the kid. So helping him off. You know, that's the thing in high school football is, you know, in the pros you would have a cart that would come out and get him. You just wish they had that in the high school ranks because it might help just a little bit. The only cart they have is a gurney, and that doesn't look too good.
That's right.
Mama kind of.
I'm sure somewhere around here they've got something.
Yeah. So. So we're going to let him get off the field, and we'll resume action with Texas High leading 17-0 over Pine Tree. In some other areas, scores, a little update for you. Van is beating Liberty Ilo 14-0, and all of these are playoff games. Harmony is up on Paul Pewitt 14-7, and in other district action, Mount Pleasant is beating Hallsville 2-0, and that is in football, not in baseball. All right, we are playing football here. Jacksonville and Nacogdoches are knotted at 7, and Marshall is losing to White House 13-0. White House is the other undefeated team in our district, and last night Pleasant Grove beat Bullard 55-21 to advance to the second round of the playoffs in Division 4A, Division 2. So, all right, Texas High resumes with 8:50 left in the first quarter. They're leading 17-0. Ball on the 22-yard line. McHenry back to pass. Complete to Sellers. Sellers gets free. He's across the 50, cuts it back. He's at the 30, the 25, 20. 10, 5, and touchdown, Texas High Tigers.
That's right, and you come off an injury there. We'll watch on the replay, and a big play here as he throws a post route between the two safeties and picks up a big block. Let's see, was that number 81 Trey Lavender?
I believe so.
I believe it was. And
79 yards.
79 yards, wow.
Touchdown reception, and it brings the score to 24-0 with 8:30 left in the second quarter. Stewart just drops back and throws a dime to to Sellers. And then Sellers does the rest, and that is McHenry's third touchdown pass of the half. So he had 6. He had 5.5 earlier this season, and his high number is 6 total in a game, and should have had 7 in that game. But he had a receiver drop it on the tee, literally right in the middle of the field. So McHenry is having a unconscious year. It's just pretty special.
Yeah, he's definitely something special to watch. We talk about him every week. Just a great poised young man in the pocket and a great leader on the team as a junior. And like we just said, he is a junior. He gets to come back and play another year.
That's right.
So it's scary to see how good he might be next year.
You're exactly right. Hernandez kicks it and try to do a little bit of an onside kick there, but it just doesn't quite work out. And it's going to go out of bounds somewhere around the 36-yard line. So Pine Tree elects to not re-kick it, which, I mean, that's great field position. So it'll be 5 yards. It'll be at the 40-yard line. And so Pine Tree will have it. Decent field position. So with 8:29 left in this first half, Pine Tree takes over, 1st and 10. Freeman back to pass. Pass is intended for Hall. Elijah Hall, but it's going to be incomplete.
And Coach Stanford and some of the fans here were not happy with a holding call that the Pirates got away with there, and Coach Stanford even still out on the field. Not sure how he missed it.
Yeah. So officiating has been a little bit rough this year in a couple of games, and so Stanford, if he feels like he's getting cheated, Smith breaks free. Freeman gets the ball away just in time and tries to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Morgan is back in. That's tried to set up the screen there.
Yeah, and once again, Clayton Smith gets back there, makes the quarterback for Pine Tree get rid of the ball before he wanted to, and so a broken play and 3rd down and 10.
3rd and 10 for KJ Freeman. They have no first downs in this half thus far. Back to pass, and it's going to be broken up. The pass was intended for Nakima Williams. Williams looks like he's slow to get up.
Yeah, and a great play by number 38, Lathan Ragland over there, just to knock that ball away. Knew it was 3rd down and long, didn't have to make a big interception or anything like that, just knock the ball away and get the ball back.
And I'll tell you the difference. You know, we talk a lot about offense and defense, but defense wins championships, and this Texas High defense is stingy. As once again, no first downs in this half thus far for the Pirates. And so it looks like we're going to have a false start on the offense. I can hear Coach Hawk from up here, and we're inside. He moved. So got a false start on the Pirates. Going to back them up 5 yards. It's going to remain 4th down. So Freeman in to punt. Arnold back to receive. That's a change they made this week. Herber has been their punter. It looks like they put Freeman in just to possibly create it as a dual threat. So gets away a nice punt.
On a face mask.
Yeah, got a face
there we
mask.
go.
So, and looked like Arnold called for a fair catch there, but ball was fielded by number 32, Michael Thomas.
Yeah, and he was not expecting the ball.
Yeah.
The ball kind of just took a bounce and it hit him, so he knew that he had to get on it, and it kind of bounced up again right into his hands, and it was really kind of one of those things where he had it, but he didn't know what to do.
he got the ball and he turned around and said, "What do I do with this thing?"
So he got bailed out by a face mask, so it was a great return by him.
That's right. He made 15 yards on that return. Turned something into nothing. That's how you do it right there. So Going to go to a different look here. You're going to have Johnson and Miller in the backfield with McHenry. Just a little different set with Stewart out. Hands the ball off to Johnson. Johnson's going to be brought down pretty quick. Looks like he fumbled the football. And Pine Tree's saying they have it. We're waiting on an official. And they do. And so that is the first fumble of the season for Texas High.
Yeah, and we talked about it early in the game. You've got to cut down on those turnovers. It looks like he was brought down and actually rolls over on top of the defender when he lost the ball. They could have actually called the play dead because his momentum was not going forward anymore, and so
here we go again. Defense back on the field. Pirate offense back out. Freeman back to pass, and he's going to be hit as he releases the ball. And it's going to be intended for Turner, but it's going to be broke up. It was in and out of the hands of Turner, and Freeman took a shot on that play.
Yeah, and the quarterback slow to get up. Clayton Smith came free, no one around him, and it was a good, clean hit right into the shoulder pads. And he threw a beautiful ball, and his receiver just ran under it and just dropped it on the goal line. That was the big break that they needed right there.
Yep. And he's a little gimpy after that hit.
I would be too.
Yeah. So we're going to have a false start once again.
Yeah, and this is what you don't want to happen if you're Pine Tree. The wheels just fall off right after you have a big turnover and you want to drive the ball down the field and you drop one on the goal line. Your quarterback takes a big hit and then followed by a penalty. That's definitely not how they wanted to start this drive.
You know, and that penalty flag comes out and Hawk's on the field I'm thinking, man, Texas High's done something. He's out there like they've made the mistake, but he saw something he didn't like, and so he's going to constantly be coaching them up. 2nd down and 15. Freeman back to pass, and pass was a little bit high. Pass intended for Williams. And once again, Freeman gets up after getting knocked down again on that play.
Yeah, and DJ Freeman's taking hit after hit. Eventually that's going to take a toll on him right now, as we can see him limping around in the backfield getting the call. It's going to be 3rd down and long, and that Tiger defense is on attack.
They are, and it's, I was talking to a retired coach this last week at the deer camp, and he said, he's a big defensive guy, and he said, pressure, you respond different under pressure than you do when you stand back in that pocket. So with 7:25 left in the first half, Texas High 24, Pine Tree 0. We'll be back.
If you're looking for authentic Cajun-style meats prepared and ready to cook and take home, look no further than Lanyard Specialty Meats. We here at Lanyard Specialty Meats select nothing but premium meats, and we season it to perfection so that you'll have all of Acadiana flavor here in your own home. Come by Lanyard Specialty Meats for all your tailgating needs for this football season or hunting season. Remember, Lanyard Specialty Meats.
Lanyards is an official sponsor and proud supporter of Texarkana Game Day.
Your quality of life.
Welcome back to Tiger Stadium. 7:22 left in the first half. Texas High leads 24-0. We resume. So changing the time to 7 minutes and 30 seconds. Let a little bit too much time run off. So when we resume play, it's going to be 3rd down and 14 for the Pirates after a Texas High fumble. And as we stated earlier, Pirates have yet to get a first down in this first half. Freeman rolls out. He's being chased, and he breaks. He is a threat to run it, but he's going to have a gain of about 1.
Yeah, and the defensive tackle, number 1, Jalen Green, trips him up. And that's another good play by that Tiger defensive line. They are on the prowl.
They are. So looks like it's 4th down and 14, and so the Pirates are saying, hey, what have we got to lose? And so looks like they're gonna go for it here. Freeman gets a snap. It's going to be rocked again, and the ball is going to be underthrown. As he released it, man, he was met by number 10, Clayton Smith.
Yeah, and Clayton hit him right in the chest. Another clean hit right as the ball was let go. And I tell you what, number 5 is jogging off the field. I'm not sure he wants to come back on.
Man, I'm going to tell you, he has taken some shots tonight. And, I talked to the guys. They played Jacksonville last week, and I talked to Matt that does a play-by-play there today. And he said, that Freeman kid can go. He said, but they didn't use him a lot last week. They tried to save him for this reason and to have a chance to make a deep run in the playoffs. And I don't know if you're going to save him tonight.
Yeah. And speaking of saving stuff, I don't intend to see Texas High come out and try to save anything here. I expect them to come out firing on all cylinders and try to punch in another score and put this game away before half.
Yeah. So Texas High is going to take a timeout. There was something they didn't like to see, and so we're gonna keep it here. And so we've got a sponsor we want to thank tonight.
Yeah, and this timeout is going to be brought to you by Rocasa Organics, natural products to help your family thrive with ingredients you can trust. They're family owned and operated since 2017. They offer safe and natural products for wellness, personal care, pet products, baby products, household products, and so much more. If you'd like to find out more information about any of these products with Rocasa Organics, you can find them at rocasaorganics.com.
So as we resume play, it's going to be 1st down and 10 for the Tigers as they take over after making the stop against the Pirates. 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. McHenry back to pass. And he's got a man. Going to have Trey Roberts. And Trey Roberts is going to be hit and knocked out of bounds as he takes a cameraman out as well. And the cameraman, it was phenomenal. He kept the headset on and the camera safe and took the hit.
He takes a hit better than Pine Tree's quarterback so far this half.
Man, he jumped up and he's ready to film once again. He lived to film another day, let me just tell you. So,
but what about the catch?
Yes, absolutely. So Guy Johnson around the left side and takes a hard shot. And he's going to have a gain of 1 on the play. So we're going to bring up 2nd down and 4 at the Pirates' 31-yard line. Texas High once again is driving. So 2nd down and 4. McHenry hands it off once again to Guy Johnson. Johnson goes up the middle. Going to be brought down after a gain of 1. It's going to be 3rd down and 4. I would have to guess they're probably going to be a little play-action pass right here. What do you think, Coach?
I don't know. They're bringing big number 10, Clayton Smith, in here, and number 29's, he's asking for help. What are we going to do over here? And if it was me, I would make sure I put my safety over the top of number 10 over here, and I'd leave the middle of the field wide open and say, come beat me.
Yeah.
But they're not, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, so because they've got Miller coming out, so you got one-on-one coverage. He had Clayton Smith open in the middle, but he intended for Miller. That's who the play was intended for. And he knows he missed one. So,
and I think they're in field position here to where they're too far to kick and too close to punt, so they'll go for it here on 4th and 4.
Yeah, and you're up 24-0, and your defense has been great with 5:40 left in the half. Good time to take another chance.
Yeah, and why not? Throw it up to one of your big receivers. Sellers and Smith both on the outside, and throw it up to one of those guys and let them go make a play.
McHenry back to pass and pulls the ball down, and he's going to take off, and it looks like he's at the 10, the 5, and he has tried to get in, but he's going to be out of bounds at the half-yard line. What a play by McHenry.
On the replay here, you can see great coverage, and so he tucks the ball and runs. He gets down all the way inside. He does. He may have crossed the pylon, but it was close. There's no replay here in high school football, so they're going to get lined up and try to punch it in.
Yeah, so they bring in the sumo package with me. They've got many in, bring in a tight end, and they're going to run right behind that guy. Johnson is he's going to try to get it, but he's going to get back to the original line of scrimmage. Maybe a loss of a half-yard.
Yeah, and on that last play by McHenry diving for the pylon, Morgan Smith with Texarkana Game Days right down there by the pylon, so we may have a good clip of that this next week.
Yeah, I'd like to see a clip of that because, man, what a tough play. That right there sends a message to your team as a quarterback. I am willing to put it all on the line. And these guys, this team has been compared to the 0-2 team that won it. And so, fumble on the play. And so picked up by number 26. And it looks like he's going to take it all the way back. Kalulu. And Kalulu scoop and score and takes it all the way back in. And there's going to be a flag on the play.
2 flags. One's going to be on Pine Tree for a clip. One's going to be on number 18, Nate Minnie, for a clip. Not sure why, and I think that's what Coach Hawk's telling him right now. Not sure why some of those things were done there on that play, but out of frustration, some mistakes were made, and we'll see where they end up spotting the ball.
Yeah, and that's Coach Hawk is talking to Minnie about it right now, and just how.
Yeah, and here the mesh with the quarterback and running back just never made, and the ball got on the ground. You can see on the replay here, there was a clip right there clearly where the flag was dropped, and he takes it back all the way down the field for a touchdown, but I'm afraid it's coming back.
So I don't know if it's going to be if it's going to bring the play back and it, like it's not happened, offsetting penalties, or what it's going to be. Yep.
Block in the back, Pine Tree will be enforced 10 yards from the spot of foul.
Wrong direction.
Also have a block in the back against Texas High. That penalty is declined. Result is first down, Pine Tree.
So it's going to be first down and 10 for Pine Tree. The official got mixed up on which way they were going, but it was after the possession change, and so it's going to be first and 10 for Pine Tree. Looks like they're going to spot the ball at the 25-yard line.
Yeah, and I'm not sure why. I think that's what he's asking us.
Yeah, Coach Lane is from Pine Tree is out. He's out past the hash marks on his side of the field. And, you know, both coaches just simply like, hey, let's just get it right. So Coach Lane is having a discussion with the official. So the defense is just out there going, hey, where do we need to line up? We're going to go take control of this. And so Pine Tree offense is waiting as well. So we're trying to sort this out. So while we got a little break in action here, we will be bringing the Texas High Band and the High Steppers to you live here at Grimm Stadium for the halftime show. Following the halftime show, we're going to go back down to our game day desk where Razorback Billy and Morgan and the team will be talking about the first half and getting us ready for the second half. And then Brian and I will join you for the second half. Man, this has been a fun thing for us this year. And I know that you keep saying that you're having to carry the whole thing, but it has been fun to be a part of the team, just to be on the team. Coach, thanks for just giving me a jersey. I appreciate it.
Hey, you know, you got to take everybody on the bus. So you just pile it up and go to the games, and you got your starters in the front, and you got your.
Hey, Coach, you think I might get in tonight?
I don't know. The way the score's looking right now, maybe.
Hey, while they're sorting things out, Liberty Ilo is down still in the second quarter, 14-0 against Van. Tatum is beating Winsboro 21-13. And in other district action, Marshall is losing to White House 16-0. Jacksonville and Nacogdoches 7-7. That game is in the second quarter. So as we resume play, 1st and 10, going to hand it off to number 22, Morgan. Morgan's going to be brought down immediately, almost as soon as the handoff was taken by Surratt.
Yeah, number 90, Surratt. And he was in there quick. That nose guard, he lines up over the ball, and he can get in there pretty quick for a big guy.
Yeah, you can just tell by body language when they get in the huddle. They're just kind of frustrated a little bit. So Freeman back to pass. Going to throw it deep. It's going to be caught by number 6, Turner. What a catch. Great coverage, but what a catch.
Yeah, good coverage by number 38, Lathan Ragland. But he just lays that one in there, and Pine Tree's receiver just goes and makes a play. And they're moving the ball here at the end of the second quarter.
Yes. Freeman's still gimpy. And so 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line. So one receiver to each side. Receiver comes in motion and got a little end around. And so Turner on the carry. It's going to be a flag on the play. So we'll see what the flag is.
Yeah, and I'm afraid number 15, Marcel Beaver, that has come into the corner position. I'm thinking that he may have led with his helmet there on that play.
Be a target.
And I believe he's going to be ejected.
So we'll wait on the call. They're going to wave that flag off. Coach is out on the numbers. Coach Lane is out on the numbers. He's not happy with the officiating tonight. So as we wind the clock, it's going to be 3:25 left in the first half. Texas High 24, Pine Tree 0. Morgan gets the handoff. Going to come around the right side.
Yeah, and there's some holding going on, multiple ones, and I'm the first one to say let them play, but there are some blatant holds out there on the field. I think one's finally going to be called from one of the back judges, which should not be throwing the holding penalties.
Yep. And you're just, Lavender talked about it at the beginning of the game, is that there's no love lost between these two teams whatsoever. So it's going to be a holding call from the spot of the foul, going to bring up 1st down and 15. Pine Tree is in an unusual time of huddle. Usually they're So Freeman gets a snap, back to pass, going to run to his right, going to be run out of bounds, and pushed out on the Texas High sideline. Be run out of bounds by number 41, Derek Brown, who is that opposite defensive end from Clayton Smith.
In a couple score updates from the Arkansas side of things. Over in Magnolia, my old school, beating Pea Ridge in the third quarter 49-0. Wow.
Magnolia is something they could make a run at state championship this year.
And across town, Texarkana, Arkansas, the Razorbacks lead Alma. They are the Airedales, and they lead them 21-17 at halftime right now.
Low snap to Freeman, and Freeman picks it up and fires a shot, and Caleb Arnold it in and out of his hands. The ball was a little high to the intended receiver, and Arnold thought he had a pick there.
Yeah, and you can see him walking back. He knew he had one, but that's when he's going to go back to the sideline, and coach is going to tell him, son, that's why you play defense.
That's right. Would have been his second pick on the year. Lived to play another down. Freeman gets a snap, back to pass, going to be pressured a little bit. Ball's going to be a little bit, he was on target, intended for Turner, but Turner just couldn't haul it in. I think his timing is off just because of that defensive line coming in strong on him.
Yeah, number 21, Jackson Halter, comes in and lays a big lick and gets up, and he's fired up, and he's enjoying those black uniforms.
That's right. So just to kind of recap a little bit, it's 4th down and 20, or 4th down and 19. Pine Tree has one first down this half. And so it's.
Yeah, for both teams coming in and having so much success in the season so far, this game has been pretty one-sided.
Yeah.
Texas High looks like the better football team by far tonight.
So 2:28 left in the half. Texas High 24, Pine Tree 0. On behalf of Game Day, myself and Brian, we want to give our condolences to New Boston as well as James Bowie, who lost students last weekend in a car crash, a car accident. And so I know that I think they had a funeral yesterday. Had one today, and they've got one tomorrow or Sunday. And so I just want to say that praying for those two schools, and it's going to be a tough year the rest of the year. Two of the girls were seniors. One of them was a freshman in college, and so just want to send our condolences out to those two schools over these. Not just these next few days, but the rest of this year, because you know that all the memories are going to come back, during the seasons that they're in. They both played sports, and as well as graduation. It's a little cloud over graduation when you lose a classmate.
Yeah, definitely never an easy thing, no matter the age. And so we do send our prayers and condolences out to all of those families and those schools that were involved.
Back to action, Freeman back to pass. Intended for number 12, Elijah Hall, but defended well.
Yeah, defended well by number 7, Caleb Arnold. Again, doesn't come up with the pick, but knocks it down. And that secondary, we've been talking about the linebackers and the defensive line for Texas High playing well. That secondary is not having anything tonight. It's a no-fly zone for the guys in black.
Yes, and that's a big improvement for Texas High. That's kind of been, if there's a weakness on their defense, it has been their secondary. But, man, that secondary has improved from game 1 to game 7 that we're in now. McHenry hands it off to number 28, Darrell Ware. Ware's going to have a nice gain of 7 yards on the carry. Going to bring up 2nd down and 3.
Yeah, and brought down by number 40, Ryan Livingston, the linebacker for the Pirates. That's a nice little run there on 1st down.
Especially just getting in the game. So McHenry fakes it, rolls out to his right. He's got a man down the field, and it's going to be caught On the far sideline, Sellers with the catch, going to be enough for a first down. So that's going to stop the clock with 1:46 left.
Yeah, and you can see here on the replay, there were multiple receivers open. He hits Ryan Sellers right on the sideline, about the 39-yard line. And, you know, speaking of Ryan Sellers, you come into this season, your senior season, you're expecting to be the starting quarterback. You're thinking of all the things that you're wanting to do. Halfway mark comes through the season, and you're an all-state receiver. You know, talk about a plot twist.
Yes, yes. Busted play there. McHenry rolls it out and wisely gets outside the tackle box and throws it away. Of course, he had Sellers in the area, so somebody didn't go the right direction back there. So it's going to bring up second down and 10. And smart play there. That's the thing with a young quarterback like that. You know, you hear coaches talk about make sure you live to play another down. And right there, that was a great – if you're a recruiter watching that, you're saying, I want that kid because he understands the game.
Well, that just shows you his football IQ. You know, he's looking. He doesn't want to force anything. He understands they're up 24-0. They're wanting to punch it down and put this game away before halftime. And, you know, why throw an interception or force something? Yeah. So a very, very smart play by the junior quarterback.
Ware on the carry, gain of 4 yards, brings up third down and 6. 1:21 left in the first half. Make that 1:10. Clock's winding down. Ball is on the 37-yard line. McHenry pressured. Just throws it away. Miller was in the area.
Yeah, and good pressure by number 40, Ryan Livingston again there. Pressuring the quarterback, McHenry, to make a throw before he wants to, and then they bring in, once again, number 10, the big defensive end, wide receiver combination down here on the bottom of your screen on the 40-yard line. Let's see if they go to him for another big play.
Henry signaled to the sideline like he was wanting a certain play. Going to be a timeout, Texas High. Discuss a little bit. McHenry tried to draw him off sides.
Yeah, and this timeout is going to be brought to you by Texarkana Bank. Texarkana Bank is more than your bankers. They're your friends and your neighbors. At Texarkana, they have built their reputation on trust and the relationships that they have with individuals, families, and local businesses. With over 100 years of banking experience under their belts, they've learned a few things about banking the right way. Give them a call or find out more at texarkanabank.com.
Go see our man, Mr. Halter, or our man, Mr. Lavender.
That's
over
right.
At Texarkana Bank, and they will take good care of you. As well as if you live on the Arkansas side, I got to give my brother some help here. If you're looking for great insurance and you need to be ripped off, go see Brian Bolt.
That's right. That's right.
No.
Sooner or later, we're going to have a commercial. You know.
Yeah. So Brian Bolt is shelter insurance on the Arkansas side. Man, I really do enjoy doing calling games with you and do a great job. And so, in all seriousness, if you do need insurance on the Arkansas side, go see Mr. Bolt there. He loves kids, and he loves families, and he wants to make sure he helps you take care of your family by getting you the right insurance, and you're not overpaying.
That's right. That's right. Never make you overpay.
That's right. So as we resume action, McHenry back to pass, set up the tunnel screen to Clayton Smith. Smith cuts the ball back inside, going to be brought down. He's going to have enough for a first down, brought down at the 24-yard line.
Yeah, and on the replay here, you see him just throw the tunnel screen. They always run. Big number 73, DeMarcus Day. And I believe that was 74, Brioski Finley Warren, the center and the left guard, getting out there on that screen play and making it happen.
Yeah. They've been bringing the house a lot of blitzes on these last couple of plays, and so I'm sure they were trying to get a head start just to try to, like, hey, let's we don't want this to happen because they're really wanting to score here. And so the clock is still running. I think they're going to have to correct that. 10-second runoff, my mistake. So 31 seconds left. So 31 seconds left in the half, 30 seconds. And so here we go. McHenry gets his team ready. Back to pass. Nice route by Sellers. Sellers is going to have it, and it's going to be a touchdown for the Tigers. Sellers' third touchdown of the night, and that's going to be McHenry's fourth touchdown pass of the evening.
Yeah, and what a great route combination there by the Tigers. And Sellers just breaks a couple tackles and gets into the end zone, and I wish they had a camera view on Brayson McHenry after that pass. He is fired up coming to the sideline, and I would be too if I was throwing 5 touchdowns every week.
That's right. So, got a man not on the field, and so fortunately have a timeout. So Stanford wisely takes a timeout just to get everybody in place for the extra point. Sometimes when you have injuries and guys moving around, you have that situation where a guy doesn't get on the field.
Yeah, and we were talking about the good route combination there. They had twin receivers to that side. The inside guy ran just a go route down the hash mark, took the safety with him and opened up the inside of the field there, and that gave Ryan Sellers the ability to run about a 10 or 12-yard in route. Runs right into the middle of the field where nobody was there, and Brayson McHenry hits him, and it's up to him to do the rest. Breaks a couple tackles and gets across the goal line for the 30th point tonight by Texas High.
Yeah, and I've heard McHenry in interviews where he and Coach Toon are really close, which is offensive coordinator for Texas High, and that makes a big difference when Texas High, when your quarterback and your offensive coordinator are all on the same page.
Yeah, and they're showing a replay here again, and everybody's fired up. Ryan Sellers is fired up. McHenry's fired up. Clayton Smith's fired up. Everyone in the stands is fired up.
Yeah,
we're fired up.
Yeah, there's a little extracurricular activity after this, and after that last play, and has been a little bit all night, and so.
You know, and speaking of being fired up, you know, I'm an Arkansas guy. I've grown up watching Arkansas football and being around coaching Arkansas high school football, and you always hear about Texas high school football, and I got the opportunity to come over here and do this with you, and we kind of thought it was going to be a one-game thing, filling in for somebody, and now we're here every week, and everyone at home is like, man, when are they going to get rid of these guys? Yeah. But, you know, you and I talk about it every week, man, how impressive it is to come over here and watch Texas High play, fill the stands up with their crowd. I mean, just the atmosphere here every night, and even on the road, and the professionalism by the staff and the coaching staff and the school here. I mean, it's something special to watch. Yeah. And you and I both talk all the time about how we love doing this on Friday night, and it has a lot to do with where we're at. Mm-hmm. And so, you know, big props to Texas High and their administration and people that take care of their facilities and coaching staff. We can't talk highly enough about all of them. And then we show up and we have Tiger Vision just lay out the red carpet and say, you guys go up there and just talk, and we'll take care of the rest. And so, man, it's really been a good deal, and I hope we've got a lot more games to go this year.
Absolutely. So Hernandez pops that kick up, tries to get a little onside kick. 19 blinks. Jeremiah blinks. Feels that kick. So,
well, if they've had a delay of game or what?
Delay on the offense. 5-yard penalty, first down.
Coach Lane has got to be, I mean, Pine Tree, Texas High is just taking them out of their game tonight.
Stunned.
Yes,
Stunned.
Yes, because Pine Tree has played a really good all year long. And this is just not their type of football whatsoever. So Freeman back to pass. Going to be run out of bounds. He is. He was pushed out of bounds. And he hit the, looked like he hit the water cooler on this side. And really hard. And man, I'll just tell you, that is a kid that is, he is a great football player. Like in the district, he was MVP of this district last year, and is just a phenomenal football player. Everybody I talked to, I was getting ready for the game, I thought, hey, KJ Freeman, this is the kid. And so I'm looking across at the Pine Tree fans, just everybody's kind of sitting there saying a prayer. Looks like they're going to help him up. And he's going to, I think he just kind of took an awkward blow, and he was already limping earlier, and it just may have aggravated that injury just a little bit more. Acting like a knee might be bothering him.
You know, as many hits as he's taken tonight, I'm surprised he even got up from that one. Another hard blow to their quarterback, and now they're going to bring in, let's see who this is.
And it wasn't an illegal blow whatsoever. It was just a hard play. Looks like it's going to be Elijah Hall.
Nope.
In the quarterback.
I think 13's coming in.
We've got all kinds of numbers.
That's right.
Folks.
I thought he's coming in a receiver.
Hunter Gleason.
That's right. Yeah, Hall looked like he was in at quarterback, and they're going to split him out wide. So got a fresh quarterback in. He is a junior.
Yeah, so
let's see if he can make it out of here 6.5 seconds without taking a lick from.
So Gleason in at quarterback, and going to hand it off to Morgan, and they're going to let the time run out. And that's going to conclude our first half with Texas High 31, Pine Tree 0. We're going to take a commercial break, and when we come back, your Texas High Steppers and that wonderful Tiger Band.
Right now at all Greg Orr Auto Collection locations in Texarkana. Shop from your phone, online, or in person, and make no payments up to 120 days with record low interest rates, drastic price reductions, and huge incentives on our vast and pristine selection. Plus, for sales or service, we will even pick up and deliver your vehicle to you. For all the money-saving details, please visit gregorauto.com. That's gregorauto.com.
Beautiful, isn't it? Beautiful, handcrafted stone is our passion, and we ensure our customers receive the quality they deserve. We stand by our word, we stand by our products, services, and work that we do. Our team of experienced craftsmen and product experts have been perfecting their craft of fabricating and installing stone since 1998. Visit the Design Center at Red River Lumber to see the many beautiful stone options available for your next project.
Junior Lieutenant Helen Clark Hayes. Senior Lieutenant Ensley Norman. Senior Lieutenant Evelyn Patterson. And the Senior Captain Mary Claire Wright. High steppers of the week are Junior Kalea Edwards Edmonds and the Senior Brianna Hall. Our teachers of the week are Chad Davis and Jessica Sharp. Thank you for all you do for THS, and our performance tonight is dedicated to you. Tonight, the High Steppers will entertain you with their palm routine to timber. Ladies and gentlemen, your Texas High Steppers. Ladies and gentlemen, your Texas High Steppers. The Texarkana Independent School District now proudly presents for your halftime entertainment the award-winning Texas High School Marching Tiger Band and High Steppers. The Tiger Band is under the direction of Arnie Lawson, Steve Bennett, Dylan Davis, Paul Stimmons, Dominic Phillips, Kevin Sutton, and Kayla Ogden. The Tiger Band is led on the field tonight by drum majors Senior Gabby Reed and Junior Julia Ryden. Tonight we present our 2020 UIL competition production entitled The Pursuit of Happiness. Football fans, please welcome the Tiger Marching Band. support of our programs, the administration and staff of TISD and Texas High School. The next performance of the Tiger Band will be in the morning as they pay tribute to those who have kept our country free at the annual Veterans Day Parade. We hope to see you there.
Tony.
We're live, Morgan. Man, what a halftime performance by that band tonight.
Well, I was just making fun of Tony. That was a good halftime performance, though.
Band and high steppers always rock it here at home. I'm happy to. It's always happy to be at home. I wish they could travel with us this year, but it's nice to be home and see them at halftime.
Brayson McHenry has got to be one of the best high school quarterbacks I've seen play in person in a long, long time.
I'm telling you, I saw one throw in the first half that was kind of off the mark, but I'll tell you, over the year and his progression, as you know, he's throwing balls away now. He's doing things to help his offense and keep them in a positive state, and that's the progression that I see. He's always been deadly accurate. His arm's gotten really stronger this year, and it helps when we're getting open for sure.
Yeah.
But he's throwing some balls that guys aren't open. You know, he's throwing them open.
I was standing right down there in the corner for that Clayton. I'm sure y'all have a much better view, but did I get it?
You got it.
Come on
baby.
now.
You got it.
Did I get it?
You got it.
ESPN, call me. I'll sell it to you. No, but Clayton Smith had an unbelievable touchdown pass in the corner of the end zone. Brayson McHenry's thrown for 4 touchdown passes, 3 of them to Ryan Sellers. I don't know how many yards either one of them have, but he's had to have thrown for almost 300 yards in the first half.
Yeah, he came out the first drive. McHenry came out. He was off target a couple times, and we were talking about it in the booth. You know, that just didn't look like him over the last couple weeks. Comes out that second drive, and he hadn't looked back yet. I mean, he is throwing dimes all over the field.
And listen, you can talk all you want about him and that offense tonight because they're putting up a lot of points. But that defense, Eric, how many first downs have they given up?
One first down.
It was a chunk play. It was a great pass and a great catch. We were actually, you know, in a good spot on defense. So, I mean, and two, we fumbled a couple of times and turned it over, but defense has held up, and man, they're playing with a chip on their shoulder, and you don't see a lot of people who are only giving up 12 points a game playing with a chip on their shoulder. But I told you, this game, these two teams don't like each other.
And there's been a ton of quarterback hurries. Derek Brown is going to go Power 5.
Yep.
I mean, I don't know how he's not being recruited by him right now. This kid is unbelievable.
He is.
He is underrated as a defensive end because, of course, when you have a Clayton Smith on one end, it's going to make you look really good. But, I mean, the kid's 6'4", 205.
Yeah.
I mean, he is built for college football defensive end, and so I fully agree. You know, back to McHenry you were talking about, we even talked about that during – he threw one away, and it's that mindset, live to play another down.
Right. Yeah, that's right.
You don't just teach that to a high school quarterback. And so, you know, if you're a college coach watching this game, you notice that, and you're like, I got to make this kid an offer right now. The kid has no offers, and I'm still going, how much more does he got to prove?
Here's another thing that I see tonight is he doesn't look any different on 4th and 8 as he does on 2nd and 2.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And Coach Stanford hit on that in pregame is the kid is great under pressure. You never notice if it's a big pressure situation.
Yep. You know, it hadn't been all roses and rainbows tonight. The team is playing absolutely unbelievable. Lights out. Braylon Stewart was injured. Looks to be serious. Don't want to speculate on it, but he's not in the stadium right now. So prayers up to him. Hope
That's right.
Hope everything's going his way right now. But it's been all Texas High.
Yeah.
Four-string running back comes in, and, I mean, the first carry, he gets 7 yards. I mean, that is a test of, maybe he's good.
Yeah.
But that offensive line, that tells you how good the offensive line is.
Shelley went out in the first half, maybe late in the first quarter, and it looked like a shoulder injury. Maybe shoulder got knocked out. That sucker's tough as nails, and they pop that thing back, and he puts his.
I heard him yelling over there. I was assuming that's what happened.
Dr. Mitchell is in the house.
That's right.
I mean, I better let me come over there and pop it back in place.
Yeah, but man, 31-0 at half. Who would have thunk that? And man, we're ready to get out there. And what adjustments are you making at halftime if you're Texas High?
Oh, if I'm Pine Tree, I'm going to run the ball.
Yeah.
Take as much time up, and I'm going to get out of here without any injuries. But I'm Texas High. I think we need to see some Trey Lavender in this game.
That's what I'm talking about.
We need to see Trey right, Trey left, throw it deep to Trey until we get this kid a touchdown.
You know what's crazy about the defense is this. When I was preparing for the game, a lot of guys were comparing KJ Freeman to he plays for the Cardinals. I just went blank.
Oh, Kyler Murray?
Kyler Murray. That he's Kyler Murray-esque.
Yeah.
Tonight, he does not look Kyler Murray-esque. I don't even think he really wants to be back on the field. I'm telling you, he took 2 shots from Clayton, and he's the difference.
I mean, I wouldn't want to take a shot
Kyler
from
Murray
myself.
Kyler Murray wouldn't look like Kyler Murray with those two coming at him tonight, you know.
Hey, and we were talking about the other defensive in there, Brown, is that his last name?
Derek Brown.
And so Derek Brown, I'm going to go out there and do like Houston Nutt did for Darren McFadden. Guys, if you're not looking at him now, this guy's a football player. You college recruits, Kirk Herbstreit, you need to start looking at this guy. Okay, there's another dude
Is that
out there on that
if you don't give him the Heisman?
That's right.
Bring on wood.
That's right.
But him and Clayton were standing by each other in the locker room. I was like, these are some big dudes.
Yeah.
I mean, they look like juniors in college.
And we were talking up there in the booth, think about this. You take Sellers, that's coming into his senior year, fixing to walk in and be the starting quarterback, okay, halfway through the season, and you're an all-state wide receiver throwing up touchdown after touchdown and yards after yards. What a plot twist is that?
He tried to say he could play some DB too.
I mean, coach put him in the game.
I've been giving Caleb a hard time on the sideline over there. Craig nicknamed him Stonehands last year, and they threw that one in the end zone. He came by me, and I was like, "Let me get a quick interview, Stonehands."
That's why he plays defense.
He's dropping interception left and right. I like that kid, man.
Yeah,
I like that kid.
No doubt.
All right, so what would I do if I'm Texas High second half? Trey Lavender in the game for sure. Brace McHenry's got to get him a TD, and then we'll start running the football.
Yeah, get out of here healthy. I mean, that's what they're going to do.
Or, even let McHenry throw for like 9 touchdown passes.
You got the game. You got the game.
That would be great for game day. Let's do that.
Yeah, no doubt.
That's what we would do.
That's right.
Highlights.
Yeah, I'm going to go talk to Stanford and be like, I need you to do this.
Would he be the offensive MVP this week?
I'd always said I can never do a co-MVP. And I had no choice a couple weeks ago because it's just like,
I believe we called that in the booth that night too.
I don't know if we had anything to do with it, but we did call it.
Let me tell y'all what I've learned. I don't ever walk out of here saying somebody's MVP because you just never know.
That's right.
And then you're going to have some kid have 10 touchdowns, and you already said on camera somebody else is getting it. You don't know.
That's right.
But he's got a very strong argument.
Yeah.
It's hard to argue against it right now.
That's right.
For sure.
That's right.
Yep.
I think you come out here and you try to establish the run. You try to shorten that second half and get out of here healthy, like you said.
Yeah, well, let's do this. Let's take a quick commercial break. We're going to give these guys a second to get back upstairs. Billy and I will be right back here in a minute.
We are excited to announce here at Texarkana Emergency Center and Hospital that we have expanded our capabilities to better serve our community. As a hospital, we have the capability for inpatient services. After your outstanding emergency care, we can smoothly transition you into one of our new inpatient rooms that have telemetry monitors in every room to continue your concierge medicine care. While our patients continue receiving their care in their inpatient suites, we also make sure that your loved ones are taken care of with our outstanding facilities. Our added services include a procedure room and also the capability of MRIs. With our imaging, we are able to offer outpatient, inpatient, and emergency room, MRI, CT, ultrasound, and X-ray. We are honored by your support and look forward to serving all your future medical needs.
Welcome back. Billy, is this the best Texas high football team you've seen?
It's the best one I've seen. I wasn't around for the 2002 team. I would have seen them play against Arkansas High, but yeah, I mean, like Coach Stanford said, there are some spots that, but they're a total team this year, and it goes much further than football. These guys are they're friends, they're buddies, they hang out together. You know, that's when they start gelling. You know, and Coach Stanford preaches that, and those guys are really buying in.
You know, you look other than just right now because of injuries, the running back position, the offensive line is unbelievable. Defensive line, find me one better. The linebacking core is great. The secondary is great. I don't even have to say how good the wide receiving core is.
Right.
I mean, they're breaking records. And the quarterback play, I mean, you know, I've told Brayson this, like last year, his transition from sophomore to junior, I've never seen a kid be this much better than they were the previous year.
You know, and all of them make all the rest of them better.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They put each other in good positions to be better and to succeed, and that's what I notice about them.
I'm seeing a lot of plays that are great. You can tell these kids are well coached because you're seeing a lot of high IQ plays on offense, and you can tell routes are being changed mid-route to get open, and the quarterback, wide receiver in sync, and that all comes back to coaching.
Well, and like Coach Stanford said, he said, you know, and it was like that last week, he said, we don't know what they're going to run on defense. They've run some multiple sets and everything. We don't know what they're going to run, but we're going to have to make adjustments on the fly, and you see that going on, like you said.
You know, I don't go to practice, but you do. Are these things you're seeing?
They work on it, like you know, like you asked him about that in pregame, as he said, hey, we work on that 5 times every practice. And they do. They have certain things that they work on, and it looks like it's kind of monotonous, you know, of working on the same thing. But they, I mean, they're well coached, man. They're well coached. You can't say enough about them.
You know, I'm friends with Kerry. I've known him and his wife a long time, and, you know, Pine Tree, they've had a great football season. But and take that away, sometimes you just play a team that is that good, and Texas High is that good this year.
Yeah.
But it looks like they're about to kick off. Let's take it up to the booth.
Texas
to Eric and Brian Bolt
on the second half.
So Pine Tree kicks off, kicks it deep, and so Texas High, it's going to be a touchback, so Texas High is going to have it at the 25-yard line. 1st and 10. Obviously, Texas High receives the ball first in the second half, and that was Herber for Pine Tree on the kickoff.
Fantastic performance by the band and dance team and high steppers, drill team, cheerleaders, everyone.
That's right.
And even Texarkana game day. So a great halftime performance by everyone, and we're back to action.
That's right. So Ware on the carry. And that offensive line once again drives him forward.
Yeah, and actually I was corrected at halftime. Number 28 that is listed on the roster is not who is currently wearing number 28. Number 28 is no longer with the team. So the new 28, we do not have a name for him. So we're going to work on that and see if we can get a name for him. But I was told that it was not Ware.
Okay. So our mistake. We can only go with the information that we're given. So hands it back off to number 28.
You gave me mine. So
that's what the school gave me. So we'll listen to the PA announcer and we'll get a name for you.
That's right. He's upended by number 21, Brian Farnham.
So 13 in at running back. So we apologize. Some of the numbers that we have, probably kids that have been pulled up from JV. And so they throw them a jersey and say, get out there. And they're excited to be out here on a Friday night under these Friday night lights. So I'll just be honest with you, there's going to be a lot of numbers that we don't have tonight because I have a feeling that they're going to play a lot of kids tonight just to try to keep everybody healthy with a 31-0 lead right now.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's a smart move by the Texas High coaching staff. You've got this game easily at hand right now, and there's no sense in risking any more injuries. So I figure over the third quarter we're going to see them pull them out one by one.
So 2nd down and 12. Ball spotted at the 32-yard line. Henry gets a snap, back to pass. He's going to throw it up to Ryan Sellers, and Sellers is going to make an unbelievable catch once again. It's going to be a flag on the play. Looks like we're going to have pass interference. Ball's going to be spotted at the 43-yard line.
Yeah, and on the replay here, he just throws the ball up and lets Sellers go up and make a catch. And they're going to waive that, or they're going to decline that penalty, and it's going to be first down at the 43-yard line.
And that kind of penalty, yes, you're glad they call it, but Texas High is like, hurry up, because they're all about tempo. When they get the big play, they want to get right back to playing and keep moving. Doesn't allow their defense to adjust. And so, once again, number 13 on the carry. Man, what a great carry.
So. Yeah, and we're not sure of his name right now, but he's fighting for yards.
So
and looking well.
That's right. So if we get a number, if we get a name on that, we'll let you know who that is. And so if you're the mom or the family of number 13, we apologize once again. So we will get that as quickly as possible. So hand it off right up the middle. Is going to be met by a shipload of Pirates.
You beat me to it. It looks like they're going to be just shy of the first down marker. Looks like they may be an arm length away.
That was terrible.
Told you we were going to have to do those. We got to throw some Pirate.
That's right.
Some.
I'll tell you what, from where we stand, I'm looking at the Tiger King, and he has his arm like stretching his shoulder in order for that cowbell to make sure that it's he's ready to wave that cowbell.
That old rotator cuff is getting a little.
No, he's going to have to work on that.
A little weak on him there.
Handoff again, and Marcus Day out on the lead block of that.
Yeah, and that's a good-looking load to be lead blocking for you, isn't it?
That's right. That's right. Number 54 got up, and he thought he was big, and then 73 stood next to him. He realized,
he said, yes, sir.
Yes, right. He said, I can fit in the 7 side of that jersey.
6'3", 335.
Yeah. Handoff again up the middle. Going to be brought down after a gain of 3 yards. That offensive line, once again, just leaning on that defensive line and pushing them forward.
Gain of 4, second down 6.
Second down and 6. Number 18, Minnie in at tight end with Rogers and Sellers to McHenry's right. So hand it off once again. And Texas High just, if they can, as much as they can keep it on the ground, they will, and grind the clock out. Down to 8 minutes left in the third quarter. It's like number 54 for Pine Tree Livingston is going to, it's like he's got it kind of gimpy. And Pine Tree has really had the injuries tonight. There's going to be a lot of ice bath back in Longview tonight. Kendrick hands it off, and once again, number 28 on the carry. Touchdown, Tigers.
Oh, and they're going to mark him down short. I think he got in.
I'm going to say he got in, but they're going to mark him down short. Here's a replay. Obviously, there's no.
He may have had a knee down there, but big number 77, Kushan McCullough, the 6'3", 305 junior right guard. He was leading the way and sealed a block there that gave him the alley.
So Coach Stanford is once again inviting an official over for Thanksgiving dinner. And so the head linesman, he's excited to meet. So McHenry back to pass, and is going to be brought down by number 14, and he is a freshman.
And right here, we're going to get another look. That's close.
Yeah, they're going to say his knee was down, but I'm going to say that the ball was over the plane before his knee went down. So missed call by the official. That's what we're going to say. The good part is I can't get fired because I was never hired. So 6.5 minutes left in the third quarter. McHenry hands it off. It'll be brought down immediately. And it'll be third down and the goal at the 5. Make it the 6-yard line.
And Pine Tree's
Clayton
defensive
Smith.
end.
Go ahead.
Defensive end's getting a good push right there and stopping that run. We've got Clayton Smith in. Won't be surprised if we see him throw it up in the back corner of the end zone right here to him.
A little fade. Receiver went back to the outside and intended for Miller. Miller coming across. Tried to sneak him across there. Used Clayton as a decoy. And, I'm just really surprised that Pine Tree has not had double coverage tonight. There's been single coverage all night long, and it's really cost them tonight.
Yeah, and that pass there by McHenry a little off the mark. He rushed it, really didn't get his feet set, trying to get the ball out there quick, and they're going to try to settle for a field goal.
So 23-yard attempt by, and the kick is up, and Hernandez kick is good, and so with 5:51 left in the third quarter, Texas High extends their lead 34-0. Like we talked about on that defense, I'm really surprised that they didn't shift over and create double coverage on Clayton or Sellers, and that is the advantage of having both of those guys in the game, because you've got to pick one or the other that you're going to double cover.
Right. While we're paused here, we want to give a shout out to another one of our sponsors, Texarkana Emergency Center and Hospital. When minutes count, you can trust Texarkana Emergency Center and Hospital to deliver emergency care you deserve 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. If you would like to find out more information about Texarkana Emergency Center, you can find out that info at texarkanaemergencycenter.com.
Couple of area scores. Paul Pewitt is down by 5, 22-27 to Harmony. Tatum is up on Winsboro 34-21. And across town at Liberty Ilo, trying to find that score. I have it right here. It's 27-0. They are down to Van in the third quarter. Number 19 Blinks on the cover the kick there. So it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Pirates. The first possession of the second half at the 36-yard line.
Yeah, and Gleason's going to come back in here in the second half. Looks like the starting quarterback for the Pirates is still going to be out. So the backup comes in here in the second half to see if he can lead a great comeback.
You know, and if you don't get a comeback, at least if you're the guy, it's going to be scoop and score by number 22.
LaJonte Reitner scoops and scores and takes it, and he's down with the dance team, giving us a little show. You can see here, let's see who that is. That was number 10, Clayton Smith, comes in, strips the ball. The ball bounces around to a couple different players, and LaJonte Reitner scoops it up. There's Derek Brown high-stepping, and the Tigers are ready to party.
That's right, and that's big for the defense. That just work hard all night. You got the shutout going, and man, why not participate in the scoring festivities? Hernandez continues, extends the lead 41-0, Texas High, and Hernandez stays perfect on PATs this year. So with 5:33 left, Texas High once again takes a commanding lead in And so at some point you got to start pulling your starters. What do you say?
Yeah, I believe that, especially if one of them pulls a hamstring dancing with the cheerleaders after a score. But, man, did you see those moves on Reitner?
Hey, man.
I don't know what you call that move, but
looks like the church lady or something.
Man, I don't know what you call it, but he was celebrating, and
I've been working on that. It hadn't worked out too well.
I tell you what, if Texas High keeps playing the way they are, we're going to have to come up with some dance moves.
Is there a cheer sponsor that could teach us a few? Because I've seen you try.
They're going to need to get paid a whole lot more than what they do if they're going to teach us.
That's right. That's right. So Hernandez tees it up. Look for a high kick. Fair catch by 2 Pirates. They couldn't figure out. Blinks got it at the 37-yard line, so it'll be 1st and 10 for the Pirates. Once again, backup quarterback comes in. If your starting quarterback's not injured that bad, he's going to try to make it. But when the game is out of hand like this, you just save him to live another day, because you got to look ahead, not just now, but playoffs and the rest of the district. So this is probably going to be your Pine Tree will either be the number 2 or the number 3 seed, because it's going to be Texas High, Pine Tree, White House are going to be your top 3 teams. White House is the top, is also undefeated.
Man, I tell you what, Pine Tree comes out on the field and half of their offensive linemen were not even on the field.
Yeah, Coach came out asking him, where you at? He's like, hey, have you seen that defensive line over there? I don't know.
He said, well, I thought the game was over.
Yeah, that's right. So White House is, we'll give you some more scoring updates. White House is up on Marshall 30-15 midway through the 4th quarter. And Jacksonville is down to Nacogdoches 21-10. Texas High will take on a Jacksonville team that has 1 win on the season. They are 0 in district. No wins in district so far. They've got 1 win in district. I apologize.
Yeah, number 41, Derek Brown right there, just drove the offensive tackle into the running back. And, we said it at halftime, and I was trying to get him a Heisman Trophy there, but some guys have got to start looking at him. I mean, he is a dominant force on that defensive line.
Yes,
and if you watch him, there he is again. I mean, just playing technique football. And there's a lot of big names, like Clayton Smith and people like that you look at first before him. But man, if you watch him play, he's a pretty good football player.
Yes, very much so.
And he's got orange cleats.
Yep.
And you cannot wear orange cleats unless you are a baller.
That's right. So pass out to number 34, DeAndre Heath.
And he's upended pretty quick by number 38. Lathan Ragland. Lathan's not a very big guy. He's 5'9", 150. And he comes in there and lowers that shoulder pad onto those knees. And you'd love to see this Texas High defense flying around and laying licks. And we've seen it over and over tonight. These guys are flying to the ball and putting those shoulder pads on people.
So Williams in to kick because DJ Freeman was their punter. He's injured. And so that ball is deflected. And so Stanford's like, don't touch the football. So it's going to be 1st and 10 at the Pirate 48-yard line. Clayton Smith got a hand on that.
Yeah, and what has he not done? Caught a touchdown.
I haven't seen him in the cheer section.
Stripped the ball. Well, the game's not over.
Okay.
I mean, deflected a punt, stripped the ball, caught a touchdown, got a sack. I mean, what can he not do? I feel like I'm talking about Booby Miles.
Yeah, hey, man. I want to see him play trombone in the band. That's the next thing he needs to be doing.
He could paint the porch and rake the leaves. I mean,
that's right, man. What a cutback! So, going to have enough for a 1st down gain of 12 yards.
Yeah, watch this cutback here. Boom, sticks his foot in the ground and leaves the defender diving for air in the backfield.
So already seeing some adjustments at the offensive line. Starting to pull some guys. McHenry's still in. If you were just joining us late, Stewart was injured earlier in the game. And so I know that he is, we hope that he gets better. So
Again, a nice block there by number 18, Nate Minnie there in the slot position. He comes over and seals a block there and helps the running back to gain 5, so it'll be 2nd down and 5.
McHenry hands it off. So once again, number 13 just don't have a name, or we would obviously be calling that name. Going to bring up 3rd down and 1 after the carry, gain of 5 yards.
Yeah, and a nice hard run by number 13 for Texas High there. Could not be brought down. Fights for the yardage, and they're going to be about half a yard short.
The Texas High band is waiting 3rd quarter to be over. Pine Tree band's trying to get the party started, trying to get something started, but maybe too little, too late.
Yeah, and I tell you what, Texas High, I'll tell you what they're getting started, downhill. Every single play. That starting O-line is still in there. I think they may have brought is that a new tight end there?
Yes, 45.
And but other than that, the starting line is still in, and they are just marching the ball down the field once again.
Jaden Kelly, number 45, is in. Bad snap. McHenry picks it up, takes off, and he's going to try to get out of bounds.
Yeah, and you know, as late in the game as it is, you don't want to see your starting quarterback do things like that.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's what they're going to tell him when he comes back to the sideline. But, you know, you're up 41-0. This game is out of hand. You're fixing to be, you know, looking pretty good going into the rest of the season. And the last thing you want is your quarterback to scramble and take a big hit.
That's right.
And get an injury when there's really no need in it. And so
now look for Dotson to come in at quarterback in the 4th quarter.
They'll probably tell him just throw it away or get down.
Yes, yes. I'll tell you what, if these kids are young kids, these 2 little running backs that are running right now, Texas High is nothing to worry about whatsoever. They're rotating them in about every 2 or 3 plays.
Yeah, number 13, he's not very big, but he's got a little speed on him, and when he breaks that corner, he's tough to get a hold of.
Yeah. You know, there's just some kids that when they practice, you're kind of like, they're good practice players, but when they get in the game, they're just gamers. They just play well. McHenry fakes the handoff, going to throw it, roll out, and pass is underthrown, intended for Blake Rogers.
And again, that's the same pass on the last drive for Texas High. That's 2 times for the same route, same play that McHenry's underthrown.
So
and he's clearly frustrated with himself, and it's not something we see him do very often.
If you're in his backyard this week, he's going to work on that right there, and it'll be better next week.
And it's a pass we see him make over and over and over.
It is good.
So the kick is up, and the kick is good, and so for Hernandez, he is 3 for 3 tonight. It's been a busy night for him between extra points and field goals. And so Texas High is going to extend their lead with 42 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. 44, Pine Tree 0. You know, coming into this game, we did not expect it to be a blowout. We actually expected it to be a little bit closer. But, man, I'm going to tell you something. Texas High has beat Pine Tree, just beat them up tonight.
Yes, I can agree with you on that.
Well, I appreciate 100%. You agreeing with me.
Well, you know, usually we don't agree on very much, but I can agree with you 100% on that.
Yeah.
Beat them like a drum.
That's right. That's right. Blink's a little shaken up on that after that point on that field goal. for Pine Tree. Walks off under his own power. So Hernandez will tee it up at the 40-yard line and look for another high kick. So number 13 is DeQuarian Witcher. So I apologize for that. So 13 that has been carrying the ball for Texas High is DeQuarian Witcher.
Yes, I do apologize for everyone at home that my partner does not have the name and number for everyone tonight on the Texas High roster. He had one job.
I did, and the roster that I received is from Brian Bolt Insurance. Brian Bolt Insurance, Shelter Insurance, where when they give you a quote, you will be missing numbers. Number 22 on the carry, Morgan, going to be brought down by none other than
Jackson Halter, number 21. Man, those guys are flying around. I know we're up here kind of having fun. It's 44-0. The clock's ticking down. 15 seconds to go in the quarter, and we're up here having a good time. But man, I figure, and I just
you what?
I figure that some of these defensive starters are going to start coming out of the game.
Well, they already have. The entire defensive line is over there going, hey, give me one more play, coach, but they didn't get to go back in. So at the end of the third quarter, it's 44-0. We're going to take a timeout. We'll be back after these messages.
If you're looking for authentic Cajun-style meats prepared and ready to cook and take home, look no further than Lanyard Specialty Meats. We here at Lanyard Specialty Meats select nothing but premium meats, and we season it to perfection so that you'll have all of Acadiana flavor here in your own home. Come by Lanyard Specialty Meats for all your tailgating needs for this football season or hunting season. Remember, Lanyard Specialty Meats.
Lanyards is an official sponsor and proud supporter of Texarkana Game Day.
Recently. Now is the time to schedule an exam.
We are back here, beginning of the fourth quarter, with a score of 44-0. Ball handed off to third down and 3 for the Pirates. Once again, new quarterback in. Hands it off to number 32, Davis, Devonta Davis. He's going to have enough for a first down. It's going to be only the second first down of the game for the Pirates.
Yeah, that's unbelievable to think that it's only the second first down, but kudos to that Texas High defense.
So Gleason in at quarterback, hands it off once again to Davis. Davis takes the ball up the right side for a carry, gain of 1 yard, second down and 9 at the 45-yard line.
Yeah, and he was brought down quickly by number 31, Tyler Harris. He's a junior, 5'10" linebacker that's in the game now for Texas High. A good play by Harris there.
Davis on the carry, gets it back across the tee. And is going to bring up third down and about 3 at the 48-yard line. And So we've got a final from across town where Arkansas High has beat Alma 28-24 to advance to the second round of the Arkansas playoffs. So Arkansas High has a great team and has a great chance to make a big run this year.
Yeah, as well as Magnolia putting away Pea Ridge 55-21. Same conference there as Arkansas High, so two winners in the Southwest Conference. From across town, it looks like
Southwest Arkansas.
Whitehall has beat Hot Springs, Hot Springs is also in that same conference with Magnolia and Texarkana.
Targeting number 32 of the defense. That is number 32's first non-flagrant targeting of the game.
So we had a flagrant foul targeting. It's a non. Basically, it wasn't in on a tackle, so he gets to remain in the game. And so it's going to bring up first down and 10 at the 26-yard line. Quarterback's got a great arm. Gleason on the throw. Hall intended for number 12, Elijah Hall, who's a little bit slow to get up. It was in and out of his hands.
Yeah, number 32, Michael Thomas, the 5'10 junior who just got the penalty called on him the play before, goes in and makes a nice deflection of the pass there to save a touchdown and keep the shutout going with 9:27 here to go in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, that's a big deal for a defense. They want that shutout. They had shut out Marshall last week, and so they had one, I believe, earlier in the year. No, last week was their first one, and so I think I heard Stanford on the coaches show this week is you want your team to peak and just stay. He wants them to peak, but then keep at that level the entire time and get as far in the playoffs as you possibly can. So looking ahead, obviously tonight, Texas High is going to come away with a win, and so the next 2 weeks are on the road to to Jacksonville, and then the week following that they'll be on the road to Nacogdoches. Ball is intercepted.
And once again, they try to pick on my man, the number 32, Michael Thomas, and for the third play in a row that he's been involved in, he goes up this time and makes the pick. High points the ball just like he's taught to do. Brings it out to about the 5-yard line, and we'll see who trots out for the offense.
Yeah. So I'm sitting there watching Coach Wilson trying to jump up and do the. Coach Wilson was a great athlete, but I think the word was.
That's right.
Is emphasized in that. So
that's right. And that turnover was brought to you by State Bank. They've been a sponsor of Game Day for 2 years. If you'd like to find out more about State Bank, you can go visit them at statebankofdecab.com.
So as we expected, Zane Dodson in at quarterback with Johnson in at running back, hands the ball off. Going to have no gain on the play. So I'm getting text messages that Thomas, that made that catch, goes to the hangout, which is at Heritage Church.
Really?
Yeah, the youth pastors, Gary Early's getting a chance to hang out with us tonight. So Zane pulls the read and has a great run on that play, gets it out to the 24-yard line. Going to have it 1st and 10 for the Tigers.
Yeah, and it's just a little zone read here, and you can see Zane Dodson. He pulls it when he sees the defensive end crash, and what a big gain for him, finally brought down by number 7, Kendall Thomas.
Anyway, back to Thomas, he goes to the hangout, and so what I understand is that every time that one of his kids has a big play, he buys them a steak dinner.
Really?
So Thomas is going to get a steak dinner this week. That's what I heard. That's what I heard.
Wow. Where's this place at? I need to.
your days are over. Remember those white shoes? Check them in, Coach.
They've been checked in and checked out for a long time.
That's right.
For sure.
So a lot of starters out for Texas High. This is great for when injuries happen. You know, we had the injury earlier to Shelley. Tucker has gotten in late in games and gotten some playing time, and so he's not intimidated by the field. And so this whole offensive line is a different offensive line. And so Johnson on the carry. And I was told at halftime that he is the fastest guy on the team.
Well, he looked like it right there. When he got that handoff, he was quick to the edge. But they've still got their starters in on defense, and they were just a little too much to handle for the second squad of Texas High. We're looking at about 3rd and 6 for the Tigers.
Your center down there is Tyler Moore, Damon Tyler Moore, 6'2", 345.
Yeah, he was
a full-grown man right there.
Yeah, he plays a lot of guard for them as well with the first string. Wow, what a nice
throw
pass.
and catch. And caught by number 82, Lavender, on the catch. And it's complete to Trey Lavender. Got a player down. Excuse me, Ben DePriest. I'm sorry, Ben DePriest. He's the deep snapper.
Yeah.
Congrats to Ben. He just signed a baseball offer to Ouachita Baptist University to be playing there next year. So congratulations to Ben. I apologize to you, buddy, for missing that.
I'm going to apologize to Trey Lavender for you giving him catch and yardage, and you don't even get to put it in the official book for him.
All right. I see how it is.
I think you and I just want him to catch a pass so bad.
Oh, man, I'm excited for
I want to
DePriest
see him
as
break
well.
one for a touchdown.
Right. So DePriest's parents serve here at Texas High. He's his dad's on the school board here at Texas High, so we really appreciate them and what they do for this community. So Johnson on the carry. Gain of about 3 yards. Going to be 2nd down and 7.
And brought down by number 64, Grant Calloway. He's a senior and in the game now, so this is a time that they can get some of those guys in and let them make a play.
So Dotson gets the play. Probably, may not know all the signs or the signals because he's, working at receiver most of practice. This little zone read once again keeps it and is going to slide down. Very smart play. That's a senior play by staying inbounds to keep the clock running. It's going to get us down below 5 minutes before the next snap of the ball. Just simply pulls it and has a nice little gain. 1st and 10.
Yeah, Trey Lavender on the block there that sealed that for the guy for him to get down the sideline like that. And again, a smart play, like you said, not only to stay in bounds, but to get down, because he also has other things, like you said, deep snap and other things that he does for but he has other chores for the team to do. And even though he's the backup quarterback, we sure don't want him getting hurt.
We want to also congratulate Trey Lavender on signing a baseball scholarship to Cameron University. Be playing for them next year, and so congratulations to him. There's one thing about Lavender that I've noticed of him is he's fundamentally sound in every sport that he plays. So whether it's football, baseball, basketball, he is very all about fundamentals.
Yeah, and every time I've been around the young man, just a great attitude. You never see him hanging his head or complaining, and that gets you a long ways. He's just the kind of kid that you want to be around.
Yeah. Guy Johnson on the carry fumbles the football and picked up by number 8 for the Pirates. Williams.
Who was that picked it up?
Nakema Williams. Good part is most of the names that I read, I get right pronouncing. So I'll pronounce them correctly. 1st and 10 for the Pirates at the 20-yard line. Texas High looked like they didn't have quite enough men or too many men on the field for defense, so they're going to call a timeout just to get the right number on the field. They really want this shutout defensively. 3:51 left in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, before the game ends, you know, we brag on them every week, and we just want to make sure that we mention them again. But Tiger Vision does such a great job partnering with Texarkana Game Day to bring you these Texas High Tiger games, and all of the cameras and things like that and the production are run by students here at Texas High. And man, such just an organization that is filled with so many great things. Like you've mentioned, these kids are learning trades and things skills that they can take on past their high school days into college and into jobs and things like that. But you know, it makes our job easy where we can get on here and just bring people the game. So a big shout out to Tiger Vision again and all of the students and faculty that are associated with that. And we appreciate everything that they do for us and for Texarkana Game Day.
Couldn't agree with you more. Number 32 on the carry, Davis. Gleason is in at quarterback still. Pine Tree comes into the game. Obviously, they were undefeated. Now, last week they had Jacksonville, but next week they've got White House, and so they've got to regroup and try to get that 2nd seed in the district, because that helps you with who you play in the first round of the playoffs. And in 5 and 6A this year in Texas, the 1st and 2nd seed are required to host the first playoff game of round 1. So Texas High wins out and wins that district, they will be hosting here at Grimm Stadium that first week of playoffs. And so, as you know, 5 and 6A started later, so they're going to be somewhere around 4 weeks behind everyone else. So everybody else will be 4 weeks. Actually, week 1 will be week 5, the semifinals of 4A and under. So when we're playing round 1, they're going to be playing round 5.
Right. And that last tackle was made by number 91. Let's see who that. I had it, Cameron Thomas. I'd looked. I'm getting forgetful in my old age.
It's losing focus, man. We got to finish the game strong.
No. I had it right there on the tip of my tongue.
That's right. Davis on the carry. Once again, 91 on the tackle.
Yeah, that's Cameron Thomas in there. He had a little help by number 23, Rakaylin Young.
So a minute and a half left in the ball game. Just trying to run it out here. And so going to be handed off. Going to be dropped for a loss of 1. And so, you know, I haven't seen White House play, or I think the next 2 weeks that those guys, Nacogdoches and Jacksonville, are, I don't want to say they're at the bottom of the district, but their records just aren't as strong as the rest of them. But you can't take anybody for granted. But White House is going to be our next contest, which is going to be the last game of the year right here at Grimm Stadium. And it could be for the district championship. Could be bigger than this game that we have tonight. And we expected this one to be a little bit closer. But
yeah, number 26, Michael Beaver, comes in and lays the shoulder pad down on the running back there. There's a replay, and you'll see him come in and just lays his shoulder pad into the guy and tells him, hey, buddy, you might want to stay down for the next 25 seconds.
Yeah. So looks like this will be the last play of the game. So we're all saying get him down because we're wanting the shutout from the Texas High side of the things. But it's going to be a first down, 5 seconds left. Look for him to just run it out here, wind the clock, and that is going to do it here at Tiger Stadium. Texas High 44, Pine Tree 0. We're going to take a commercial break, and we'll come right back and wrap us up for the evening.
Beautiful, isn't it? Beautiful, handcrafted stone is our passion, and we ensure our customers receive the quality they deserve. We stand by our word, we stand by our products, services, and work that we do. Our team of experienced craftsmen and product experts have been perfecting their craft of fabricating and installing stone since 1998. Visit the Design Center at Red River Lumber to see the many beautiful stone options available for your next project.
Now is the time to schedule an exam so that you can...
Welcome back to the Texar Federal Credit Union post-game show. So, man, what a night tonight. A lot more lopsided than we expected. We expected, DJ Freeman, or DJ Freeman, the quarterback for Pine Tree, to really make a difference, being compared to Kyler Murray-ish. Some of the guys that I was talking to, that's what they were comparing him to. But obviously that defensive line and said, hey, we're not gonna let him run all over us. But man, I just got to say, offensively looked good, but I'm just telling you, defense, you got to talk about a shutout.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, big plays. We're seeing some replays here from the offense right now. Just big plays all night. Defense, comes in and pitches a shutout here, and you just can't grasp the speed of the defense tonight unless you were here watching it in person.
Yep.
I mean, they were fast and they were lethal. I mean, when they were running around and hitting folks on the field, it was like missiles. And those guys ran and hit people hard tonight, and it showed. I mean, to be honest with you, the coach in me, what I'm telling my kids is, you came out and you hit them so hard in the first half, they came out in the second half and didn't want anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, and you can see it. They were just deflated when they came out in the second half, and they put together a couple decent drives, but after having their starting quarterback knocked around like he was and then not come back in the game right before half, and man, it's hard for a team to bounce back like that when every time you get up off the ground, somebody's hitting you in the mouth again.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they came out even really I saw it in the second quarter, just their whole body language changed. And when you do that, when you come out and impose your will, this is the result that you get, both on offense and defense. And I know we had some injuries in the backfield tonight. We were down to third string and fourth string running back, but that offensive line's good enough to give our guys time enough. All we need is 3 or 4 yards.
Yeah.
But, I mean, we're fourth down and 12, bam, hit it for a first down. I mean, McHenry had another career night throwing 4 touchdown passes. And just a really special night, and just a great night to be a Texas High Tiger.
Yeah, exactly. We praise the defense because they were amazing tonight. But we don't know the stats for the offense, but they're going to be big.
Yeah.
I mean, Brayson McHenry, another stellar performance by him. Ryan Sellers. Multiple running backs, I'm sure, had good yardage tonight. I mean, the offensive linemen. I haven't watched much other Texas High football, but let me tell you, man, these offensive linemen got to be one of the best units in the state.
I would
have to be.
Yes, I'd fully agree with that.
And so just a very impressive performance by them. And we didn't see them make the mistakes they have been making on special teams.
Mm-hmm.
Tonight they put together a complete performance, and, man, it showed on the scoreboard and makes you get pumped up for next week.
That's right. So next week, Tigers are on the road the next 2 weeks. Next week they'll be in Jacksonville. The following week, which is the week of Thanksgiving, we'll be making the trip to Nacogdoches. And so in for a late night next Friday night in Jacksonville, but looking forward to being with those guys down there. And so Stanford's on the tee talking to the team, talking about some of the things they've still got to work on. And he'll have a team prayer with them, and that's one thing about Coach Stanford I personally appreciate is that he tells them to put God first. And so hey, everybody, have a safe weekend. I know for you, Brian, you're headed to the Deer Woods.
That's right.
As well as myself, all you guys hunting. You're maybe in there hunting right now, watching out from the deer stand, or hope you're not in a deer stand tonight. That's not good, but at deer camp. So good luck this weekend, and be blessed, be safe, and we'll see you next week in Jacksonville.